Hello and welcome to Blood on the Tamases, a Vampire the Masquerade one-shot set in Oxfordshire, England. With me tonight are...
I'm Lane and I'll be playing... I've been practicing this voice ever since I was asked back, so...
I am playing Denton Fisk, local MP of the Branbury area.
That's terrifying.
Oh my god! No pressure, guys. And what are you playing?
I've forgotten. I'm Titus and I am playing Daniel Wheeler.
That is alright.
Yeah. I have one job.
Help! Yeah. I'm Philip and I'm playing Percival Montgomery, more commonly known as Percy.
So, just to kind of set the scene a little bit for you all, this is set in the World of Darkness, and it is also set in the same World of Darkness as Blood on the Thames. In this game, the year is the year 2000. It is currently a Friday. It is the 8th of September. So, your characters have basically been carrying out their various business. Some of you have been enjoying the Edinburgh Festival. Some of you have been carrying out other private meetings and things of importance, perhaps taking some photo opportunities while you can.
Of course.
And I'm never going to get used to that. Awesome. And essentially, Daniel and Percy, you've made your way to coach stop to start heading back towards Oxford. Denton, you are waiting for your private car to arrive. And just before we get into the action completely, just a couple of rulesy things to say. In this session, the players are going to be playing mortals rather than vampires, and you might get the hint if you look at the symbols below their faces on camera. And this means basically they are not going to be rolling hunger dice. It means they are not going to be fighting with a beast, and it means they don't have to worry about humanity. They can do despicable things if they want, and they're not going to get any stains on their soul. Not yet, anyway. The other thing that we're going to try playing with tonight is a rule in the book where if a character's dice pool halved is equal to the difficulty of the task, they can auto-succeed without rolling. So we're going to see how that plays tonight as well. So, we're going to start with you, Denton. Can you just describe your character so that the people watching get a sense of who they're watching?
Denton's a guy in his late 30s. Mm-hmm. He's got like a slicked back, sleek sort of the asshole on the street kind of hair back.
Asshole on the street.
Wears a black shirt under a blue like buttoned up suit. Mm-hmm. And he's definitely spent a lot of money like keeping himself looking young for his job. Mm-hmm. That's what I'll say for now.
So, you are approached by Alan, who of course you know very well, but for the people who've never seen him before, he's someone who looks to be in his early 30s. He has brown hair, he has quite a prominent chin, and he's wearing a smart-ish, not as classy as your suit, but he's wearing a smart-ish blue suit. He's a little on the plump side, so he kind of fills out the fabric somewhat, and he has a yellow tie. Which doesn't quite clash, but it's close. And I should say as well, it's a September day, beautiful blue sky, the sun is shining. It's not too hot because we're already into the autumn, but it's pleasant, it's nice to be outdoors. And he's come in something of a hurry, and he's perspiring very slightly. And he comes up to see you, and he says, Denton, I've got some very bad news, I'm afraid. I'm afraid the car isn't coming.
Oh, well...
You see, it's this whole fuel business. I can't get a cab for love nor money, and I bloody tried, I promise you. I've been calling around, and not one of the buggers is they're all either not driving or they're booked, but I did manage to get you us tickets on a coach. I'm very sorry. It's going to be public transport. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Denton.
Obviously not ideal, but it'll help with my image, won't it?
Oh yes. Actually, I was only on the phone to Ollie the other day, and he was saying there's been this big business about MPs thinking they're too big to get on the train and that kind of thing. So perhaps I could call ahead to a friendly journalist. Perhaps they could meet us at the other end.
That would be an excellent idea. I don't really want to mix with these people, but it will be good for my image. So
Yes, of course. One must make the best of things. I'll get on the phone right away.
thank you.
So you basically make your way towards the coach stop. So yeah, the coach is here, arrives on time. You are there. Percy, perhaps you could give us a quick.
Percy's in his late 20s. Seems to be a little more. Actually, he is wearing a t-shirt with a slogan on. Melts your mouth, not in your hand. Very much big Eminem lover because chocolate rules. And his hair is maybe an inch and a half long. Black hair. It's like quite smooth, quite smooth face. He's decently slim. I wouldn't say he's toned, but he's slim, and he's moving about. He does currently have a 50p piece rolling over his fingers and back, sort of rolling over and back on his fingers. Which he just seems to be fidgeting with.
Okay, so while you're waiting for the coach, Jason will be with you, and just for reference, he looks like a young white man in his early 20s. He's got very short, cut brown hair, and yeah, he's quite short. He is quite alert looking, and his attention is not on your coin. It seems to be on the passers-by, just kind of idly watching them go back and forth. He's not really saying very much. I should say he's wearing a kind of beaten up leather jacket, jeans, trainers, and he never looks bored. He always just looks a little bit like he's kind of intrigued by the kind of the workings of the world, but he doesn't say much about it. And there's a kind of a plethora of people gathering. And thank you, ghouls. So, and lastly, Daniel, let's just catch up with you. So you're also at the coach stop.
Okay. Daniel is a man in his early 30s. He's got about shoulder length blonde hair, a beard. He does have glasses, but they're kind of nooked in his pocket rather than. He's quite stocky of build. He's not like toned, but it's more the kind of physique you'd get from manual labour than anything else. Currently has a set of headphones, old style headphones on, that he's just kind of very slowly just observing as he's waiting. But has a basic denim jacket, black top, and jeans.
And yeah, there are more than one set of denim jackets around in the crowd at the moment. The coach will arrive, doors will open, people start to get on. The driver looks a little bit like a more smartly dressed version of Otto from The Simpsons, and then he has like slight kind of curly mullet hair, and he's also got headphones, although they're currently around his neck, connected to a Walkman, and is kind of nodding you all on kind of as you go, and it kind of looks middle-aged, looks a bit bored. So you get on, things fill up, the door's shut, the coach sets off. It is going to be something like a 6-hour plus journey on this coach. Is anybody doing anything of note whilst on the journey?
I'm going to be spending most of the time looking out the window. At this point, I'll put the coin away, pull out a deck of cards, and just keep manipulating.
Sure. Jason will have sat a few seats back from you.
Yep.
Just so you know.
Yep.
So when you get on, Denton, Alan will like play of, he'll take out a handkerchief and he'll kind of wipe down the armrests and stuff before you sit down. And he's like, I'm all ready for you, Denton. Like,
Thank you.
so you settle down. The journey seems quite smooth. The roads are quite empty. As I say, there's a few clouds in the sky, but nothing too bad. It's kind of beautiful, sunny. The hours gradually start to tick by. It's pretty sedate. Alan will be on his Nokia trying to get in touch with some kind of journalist to arrange a kind of a meeting on the other end. But there will be a point, Percy, where someone will come into kind of the seat opposite yours on the aisle.
Yep.
She looks quite young, looks to be probably in her late teens. She's wearing a duffel coat, and she's got. You'll notice that she's got like a key ring of a lightsaber attached in one of the holes of her jacket, and she says, "Hi there. Sorry to bother you, but
That's fine.
well, basically, I'm meeting up with some friends when we get into town, and the thing is, I lost my wallet. I still got my ticket, but I was wondering if I could borrow some money."
I'd like to do insight.
Okay.
See if
What is your insight and wits pool?
My insight and wits pool is 5.
Okay. You think she's not telling you the complete. You have a sense of something isn't right. You don't think she's lying to your face, but you're not completely by the story. She does look quite earnest, though.
What happened? How come you've lost?
I just must have been something. Well, you know, I just wasn't paying attention. Someone must just swiped my wallet or something. Just any change or anything would be alright. Could I?
I don't really carry much on me.
All right.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
but
Okay. So she just moves off pretty quickly. So a few minutes later, where you're sitting, Daniel, the same woman. There's no seat this time, so she kind of, you can hear her doing this to the people up there, having very limited success. But she'll get to you and she'll say, "I'm really sorry to bother you, but sorry to bother you. I'm just, I've lost my wallet, and I was just wondering if I could have a little bit of money just to get like the bus when I get into town to get home. Could you?"
How much?
Well, anything you've got, just a £5.
Take out a £5. In change.
Okay, yeah.
She's not that fortunate.
Yeah, she'll take it though. So cheers, thank you. She goes away. She'll carry on thing. So a few minutes later, you're obviously sitting near the front of the coach. She will get to you. And are you sitting by the window or by the aisle?
By the aisle?
By the aisle. Okay, so she'll talk to you, and she'll say, "Oh, sorry to bother you, but I've lost my wallet and I'm trying to get a bit of money to get home. I suppose you could."
He kind of like visibly kind of shakes himself for a little and goes,
Oh yes, of course. It is my absolute humble duty to help all the people of my constituency. What can I do for you?
Just a bit of change or something. Anything you've got spare. That's all really. Just so I can get the bus home.
Not a problem. I'll see what I can do.
He kind of just pulls out, looks through a fairly stacked wallet.
Yeah.
Just hands her a 20 over.
Oh, cheers. Thanks. Cheers, mate.
Not a problem.
And she shuffles away. So the journey continues on. Alan's like, "I'm so sorry, Denton. I'm so sorry, but we must focus on the positive here."
Good for my image.
Yes, very good for the image. It's only a shame we didn't have a camera. Oh well.
I suppose they don't have the security cameras in these coaches that could catch that.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Well, we take what we can get, eh?
Quite. So, anyone doing anything else on this part of the journey, or are you just kind of reclining and enjoying it?
Just keep them lie out as just keep going in all manner of cards.
So the day wears on. A few more clouds appear in the sky. The sun gradually moves across. There's lots of beautiful countryside as you drive. Lots of green fields, lots of pleasant views, and kind of autumnal vistas that kind of play out in front of you. Can people, if anybody is being attentive, can you make a either intelligence or resolve on straight dice?
Just the attribute.
Just the attribute.
Absolutely not being attentive. I have
Awesome.
head buried in the papers, trying to ignore the plebs
I
around
got
me.
none.
Okay.
I got 5.
5 successes.
Mother! Whoa!
So you haven't done this route often, but it seems to you like one of the reasons you're getting such nice views is that you're not taking the motorway. And you think you are heading in towards Oxfordshire. You're definitely going the right direction, but you're taking an odd route. You will also notice the roads are quite empty, actually. In fact, they've been fairly empty even when you were leaving Oxford.
I'll get up. I'll make my way down towards the front and scooch in next to where the driver is, so not to.
Yeah. So he's also got headphones on, and he's kind of obviously driving, going, "Hit me, baby, one more time."
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Have we taken a diversion?
He says, "Oh, yeah, different route, mate.
Are we going to be later in than expected?
Probably. It's this. There's
How much later?
Well, there's." He says, "Not. It shouldn't be too bad. It's just there's this problem of a storm coming in. Some of the roads are being closed off further down south."
You got a rough idea? I've got people waiting on the other end.
It shouldn't be more than half an hour or so. Maybe an hour. Maybe." He shrugs.
Hour tops.
Yeah. Hour tops. Hour
All right.
tops.
Cheers. I'll get back up and go back to my seat. Get out my Nokia,
Yeah.
because everyone's got Nokias.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It's
Pretty
a
much.
rule of blood on the Thames.
Yeah.
And just let them know I'll be delayed.
Okay. So you send them a message. It seems to send fine. You travel on.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, same.
How does it feel being this side now?
And gradually, the afternoon wears on, the sun gradually begins to set. There's a few more clouds kind of appearing, some of them a little darker than they were before, but you still can mostly see patches of sky. And Daniel, for you, now that you've kind of made this observation, the thing that strikes you most is you just don't really know where you are. You're definitely going in the right direction, but increasingly, because you're not travelling on roads you know, you just start to feel a little bit more odd. And it gets to around about 6:30. You were hoping to be getting into Oxford by now, but you're not in Oxford at this point. And the coach comes to a stop. You seem to have been driving into fairly dense, kind of countrified roads, and you're aware you've been driving downhill for a while. But yeah, the coach comes to a stop, and the driver makes an announcement and just says, "Sorry, we've got a little bit of trouble up ahead. I'm just calling in, and we should be on the move again shortly." Feels so glamorous right now. So, a little bit of time passes, and then he comes on again and he says, "Right, I'm really sorry." He comes to the announcement. It sounds like things have got pretty bad down there. There are flood warnings. A lot of the roads are shut. We were hoping to try and get around the worst of it, but it doesn't look like we can. I've been speaking to the controller. Basically, thing is, we've got a fuel shortage on. So what we're going to do, really sorry about this, is we're going to find some places to drop you off. and then we'll have to pick this up tomorrow. But at the moment, the roads are all shut. We can't go any further. So bear with me. We're going to have to try and find your rooms where we can. We can't drop everyone else in the same place, so it's going to be a bit touch and go. It should be fine though. Yeah, right. And he puts his headphones back on, and the coach starts up again. You've got an empty seat next to you, Percy, and Jason will slip into it. He says, what do you make of this?
I don't think they run with us, but they can't run with us. But
Do you think it's the police?
well, I mean, it's always possible, but they could be honest. And you know anyone who's able to check whether?
I'll make a walk up the aisle, see if anyone's clocking me.
Yeah, and of course, as usual, need his hands out of their pockets.
So he gets up and he makes like a shuffle up as if he's going to talk to the driver. Can you make me a resolve and awareness roll?
Resolve and awareness.
Yeah, because you're going to be watching, concentrating, trying to track everybody as you go.
2.
So when this young guy in his kind of scuffed jacket makes his way up and down the aisle, do either of you two pay attention? Or are you not really bothered?
Kind of take notice as he approaches, kind of just like, ugh. Not really apart from that.
Sure.
Generally.
Not really.
No.
I'm more pissed than anything.
Yeah, you're starting to feel quite angry about this because you know that they're going to say it's your fault somehow, or it's going to be like another black mark or some crap like that. You can feel it, you know. Okay, so he makes his way up and makes his way back down. The only person that seems to watch him quite carefully is the one that came and asked you for money. She definitely clocks him and watches him. No one else is overtly staring or watching.
Does he come back to sit beside me?
Yeah, just briefly.
Yeah. Do you know who she is?
No idea.
She asking everyone for money earlier. She wasn't quite telling the truth.
Keep an eye on her. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do.
He slips out of the seat, makes his way back down,
Yeah.
and he's soon out of sight. So the coach drives on through the dark and eventually comes to a stop in some kind of steep-walled valley. Well, it's a valley kind of on one side, trees on the other. And the coach driver has got a clipboard, and he's got his headphones around his neck now, and he calls a list of names from the clipboard. So you will hear all of your names called, but you'll also hear Alan called, you'll also hear Jason called, and you will also hear several other names called. So you will hear Roger Bellamy, Cedar Demir, Betty Gray, and Tamsin Baker. Oh, and Daryl Hart. And the driver will say, so we've got all of you booked into a hotel. Really nice place. They can only fit you lot in. Everyone else, we're going to move on to the next place. If you can come out, I'll help you with your bags and things, and we'll come in the morning and pick you up. And hopefully the worst of the flood will have cleared, or maybe the forecast is not as bad, and then we can get on our way. So we'll get out. You all getting out?
Yep.
I'm sending a text first.
Okay, so when you...
Sorry, I'm sending several. I don't think the first one's going to adequately explain.
So you take out your phone to send a text and you realise you've got no signal down here. It seems to be a black spot. As you're making your... So yeah, you'll make your way kind of down the aisle outside. You'll start getting your bags. Just out of interest, how lightly or heavily have your characters packed? Like how many are we talking about a simple rucksack or an over-the-shoulder number?
One rucksack.
So one rucksack?
Yeah, just simple rucksack. You know, easy. Take a couple of changes of clothes,
Yeah. So Jason will be travelling light as well.
Yeah.
Small suitcase, probably about for like 2-3 days.
Yeah. I imagine that Alan has like a fairly substantial wheelie with extra supplies and things just in case.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So you will see that some of your fellow kind of people who've been kind of evacuated at this stage from the coach have packed again to varying degrees. You will see there seems to be a pair of kind of older men, both look to be somewhere in their 60s, who seem to have quite a lot of luggage. Look, they've probably been abroad on some holiday or some extended trip. You'll see a quite short woman who looks maybe of sort of Middle Eastern descent, with like a hoodie and just like a kind of a sling bag over her shoulder. You'll see a woman who looks maybe in her 50s, quite tall, quite statuesque, with what looks like quite a kind of like smart, like one of those small jackets that's currently in fashion, quite a smart black dress, long white gloves. And she has more bags than it looks like she needs, and also can carry, actually, now that you look at it. You're not quite sure how she got them all on the coach in the first place. And there's the woman that was asking you for money. She's also here. She's got like quite a large rucksack, almost like a camping rucksack, but it's just chocker with stuff. It's got like a sleeping bag strapped to it and everything else. So you're all kind of assembled out here, and the driver says, the place you're staying at, it's called the Old House Hotel. Really nice place. Really, you've landed on your feet, honestly. But it's thing is, where we were coming, we couldn't come to the front entrance. This is the back road, so you see that pathway there. You just follow that path, about a quarter of a mile, and then you'll see it. Can't miss it. Lovely house it is. Lovely rooms. Really top class place. You'll love it.
Quarter of a mile. Couldn't you have gotten us any closer?
And I can't. Well, no, because there's no vehicle access here. So it's around the front, and I can't take it because a lot of the roads are shut. It's very difficult. I'm really sorry.
All right.
Yeah, personal insight that.
You can totally insight that. What is anyone else's insight pools? Let's say.
With wits.
You can roll it. Yeah, wits. Let's say wits and insight.
Wits and insight is 5 for me.
Yeah. So roll your dice.
Yep. 3.
2.
2.
So 3 and 2. I mean, something about that. You know, it seems odd. Like the coach doesn't even drop you to the door. I mean, like this is definitely public transport, but come on. Surely there are standards. And this, like, you know, this. You're really annoyed, and this guy just like, really, this is the best they can do. This is bullshit. You lie for a living. This guy is lying. You're pretty convinced this guy is talking out his arse. I mean, there's nothing, he hasn't said anything like you can't pick up. You just, in your gut, there's something you don't buy in all this. So do with that what you will.
Yeah. And I'm going to look over the other people as. With any of the other people, do I recognise any of them, or do they have any resemblance to anyone I might know?
What is your intelligence and, let's say, politics, Paul?
3.
Okay. You recognise Denton Fesk, who is an elected MP. You've seen their face on kind of campaign stuff. Have you got any kind of, has anyone got any academics? Okay, if you've got academics,
yep.
What's your, let's say, what's your intelligence and academics pool?
I have 3.
3, 4, 5, oh well, crikey. Okay, so you vaguely recognise the woman with too many bags and the fancy white gloves. You two will recognise her as Betty Gray. She's an actress who about 20-30 years ago was had been in a few TV shows, was like, she was often around. She was rarely the star, but she was always in work, although you haven't seen much of her lately. But yeah, now that you look, and she's aged really well, but now you look at her, you recognise her. But apart from that, there's no one that you recognise.
Are the two older gents?
Yeah.
How well are they handling their luggage?
They look like they're struggling a little bit. I mean, they're trying to be like they're nobly suffering. So one of them, you'll note, he's wearing kind of so they've both got kind of greying hair. One of them has just cut it short and has quite a nice, trim beard, and he's wearing quite a kind of a detailed kind of flowery waistcoat and quite a nice shirt. And the other one has got a kind of a comb over thing going on, and he's wearing quite a comfy looking baggy knit jumper with like a rabbit sewn quite prominently, like quite cute, on it, and it looks handmade.
Is one struggling more than the other?
Yeah, the one that is wearing the jumper is struggling more, and the other one is trying to help him in quite a kind of needlessly loud manner, like he's like, oh, yeah, don't worry, I've got it, that's it, you give it to me, oh, there we are. We'll do it together like we always have, it's that kind of...
Okay. I'll approach them.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you need a hand? It's quite a way.
The man in the waistcoat says, oh, that's awfully kind of you, yes, that would be marvellous, I'm sorry. Darren and I, we're a little past our prime, but we rather indulged on this trip. It was a bit of a special one. But you don't want to hear about that. Yes, if you could, any hands you could give us. Is that really all you're taking?
Yeah.
Goodness me. Well, yes. In that case,
I'll grab.
So the coach driver is getting back in the coach now, shutting everything up.
Yeah.
So if you want to say or do anything.
No, I'm just going to sort of pass over Jason and go, driver's lying, keep an eye out.
Jason says, driver seems to be fucking off. Should we do something?
Maybe see if we can keep an eye out on these.
No, I mean before he goes, if you think he's up to something, don't you think we should do?
Yeah.
At some speed, the coach pulls away.
I go sort of slip up to the girl who was around us earlier. The one you said with the massive bag.
Yes, massive bag, duffel coat. Yeah.
You travel a lot, I'm guessing, with that bag.
She frowns a little bit. Says, yeah.
And I flick my wrist, and there's a couple of 20s in there. Yeah, take them.
Oh, thanks. She takes the money.
Just, keep yourself safe.
Yeah. Yeah, cheers. She looks genuinely surprised. She looked like she was ready for something awful to happen. So yeah, she'll take the money. So the older gentleman's been talking. She says, I'm Roger, by the way.
Daniel.
He holds out a hand. So nice to meet you. He says, shall we sally forth then?
Yeah. Lead on.
So you start making your way down this. It's like a gravel dirt path. So you hear it crunching underfoot. It's a little hard on the wheels of the wheelie. Alan's not doing so well. He's trying, and he keeps going, I'm so sorry, Denton. I'm coming. I'm sorry.
It's okay. They've got us in a nice hotel, so I guess that's the least they could do, isn't it, for inconveniencing us?
I will prepare a very stern letter as soon as we get to the hotel.
I'll be dealing with this in Parliament, don't worry.
Oh, goodness me, Denton. Oh, I can't wait to see that. So there's kind of the crunch of footsteps on gravel, the dragging sound of things.
I've switched back to the cards away. I've now got I'm back to the 50p coin. Actually, I've got two at my fingers at the moment.
As you and Jason are starting to move, the well-dressed lady that you vaguely recognise is like, she says, "Excuse me.
Yes.
Would you mind terribly if you gave me a hand with I seem to have got more bags than I've got arms."
Sure. Pocket and get loop a couple, but one hand is still free for a coin.
Okay. So you're going to twiddle a coin whilst taking a bag.
Whilst I was doing it,
Okay.
a couple bags and just.
Knowing your pull for this, you can do that. So you blatantly show off on the way along, and
It's more just keeping fidgety.
you're like, yeah, I can do this all day. And so you move along. She does sort of take notice. A fellow entertainer, I see.
I would like to say I can place you, but I'm afraid I can't. My apologies.
Oh, darling, you're too kind. No, it's been a little while since I've been on the screen, although I'm rather hoping that that's going to change. I'm a little bit annoyed to miss my meeting, if I'm quite honest. It was all arranged, and I got on the coach specially, and everything should have worked out perfectly. I don't suppose your phone's in working order, is it? I've been trying to call, and I've had no luck.
Pull up. Palm coin, check phone.
No buzz.
I got no signal. Phone goes away.
Well, hopefully the hotel will have a line. Call there. So you're making your way along. Quarter of a mile seems like a generous estimate. You start to realise you're going along. There's no lights. It's remarkably dark. The older gentleman next to you will pull out, you know, one of those little tiny torches for like finding the place to put your car keys in. He's got one of those. It does nothing, but he gets it out anyway and he turns it on. And the two gents have like a chuckle about it being useless, but
I assume Jason probably has a decent torch somewhere.
Yeah, Jason will have a torch and he'll shine it on the ground for you all to work. Alan will stop, unzip. There are multiple pockets, and he will pull out a mag light and do it up. He says, "It's funny, Denton." He says, "I've kept this ever since that trip we did to speak with those miners."
Well, you certainly are resourceful. I'll see if I can get your parliamentary pay rise soon, shall we?
He smiles at you. He beams. He seems to glow with your praise, and you're making your way along. Can I have a... where is your attention?
I'm trying to keep an eye out. The coin is completely absent-minded. But it's just I'm just trying to keep aware, keep on, because I know that guy's lying. I know that guy was lying his ass off, so I want to keep aware.
So you're keeping an eye kind of on the surroundings.
I'm keeping an eye on the two guys I'm with because you said it's quite uneven underfoot.
Yes.
So I'm keeping an eye on them and I'm engaging them in conversation.
Okay.
So I carry this stuff down.
So you will start to learn that these two guys are celebrating a 20-year anniversary, and they've just been out. They've been on a cruise, and then they came back for the Edinburgh Festival. And they've been having a lovely time, and they will kind of chat. Daryl, the one in the jumper, doesn't really say much, but he tends to nod or agree with everything that Roger says, and it does seem quite sweet. So what about your attention?
My attention is on my luggage and the people around me, because I don't want them to steal it.
Yes, sensible. Okay, can I have wits and awareness from everybody?
Two.
Okay.
Big fat nothing.
3.
4.
So 4, 3, nothing. Okay, so you do help Roger in the enthusiasm of telling you about a particular event where they were arguing over who was going to have the last bit of ice cream on a particular trip, and that it was supposedly very delightful. He's so busy trying to explain it with his hand gestures, he trips, and you manage to catch him. And he's incredibly embarrassed about it and thanks you profusely for it.
Don't worry about it. Just keep your light that way, yeah?
And you realise when you've caught him that he's genuinely quite, was quite shocked by it. You feel that kind of, but he does calm with your kind of support. You meanwhile, I should say, no one has taken your luggage. As far as you can see, nothing. No one's taken. But it is quite difficult, you realise. It's actually quite hard walking and dragging the luggage because it's so dark. The light is helpful, but it's still, you're not used to being in situations where it's not controlled in that way.
Usually I have people do this for me.
Well, quite, yeah. Percy, what you notice for a moment is you look off the path, and obviously there's not much illumination there, but your eyesight's pretty good. you think you see someone watching you from the trees. Definitely a person. It's too dark to see much of detail. And it was 4 successes you got, yeah?
Yeah.
You're absolutely certain you got them, but when you... Yes, you've seen them.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm sort of is there any details I can get out? Any sort of difference I can make out?
You think they're maybe wearing some kind of hood.
Yep.
Because of the shape of their head. Their head looks slightly like odd from that point of view. They don't seem especially large, but it's dark. I mean, you really can't tell very much. And they're standing quite close to one of the trees. They're not standing like proudly in front of you. They are obviously hiding their presence, but you've spotted them.
No.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to sort of quietly walk up to just quietly let Jason definitely and go with the big backpack and the actress lady, the ones that I've been communicating with, them know that something's going on.
Okay, so what are you going to say? And who are you going to? Who do you want to go to first?
Jason first.
So just because you're obviously quite close
Yep.
to Betty as well.
Yep.
So are you trying to talk to Jason separately, or are you talking to them both together?
I'm just kind of letting know. We're being watched by someone who's trying not to be. And I think we should be all right. We're large. I think we're a large enough group where we'll be fine. But it's probably best maybe to spread quietly word among people that we are being watched. Maybe.
Do you think it's a groundskeeper or something?
I don't think so. It's definitely someone watching us.
She kind of
Yeah,
starts to look a bit nervous when you say that.
I'm pretty sure. I'm certain it'll be okay. And I can see that we got. I mean, that tough guy is definitely carrying a lot. Yeah, I think we should be fine. We're a large group, so.
She stops for a moment, puts down the bag she's carrying, unzips something in her handbag, and just opens her handbag, and then seems to move something so it's near the top, and then picks up her bag again.
Good then.
And keeps going.
Okay.
So Jason says, "You're going to tell the others then."
I think maybe we should both just start being as quiet as we can, spread it among them.
Okay.
Especially those who seem very physically able, just in case, but just trying not to cause panic.
Okay, so you start spreading the word.
Right.
Let's say that the point at which you'll probably get to Denton next, because Alan's moving slower actually than Daniel and these two older guys, believe it or not. So so you do what you're going to do.
Hello. Good evening.
Hello, and what can I help you with?
Well, just to make you aware, I believe I know we are being watched by someone. We should be fine. We're a decent-sized group, but just making sure people are aware, just in case. It's being that driver was lying, so.
That's not exactly welcome news right now, but.
Oh, I am most aware. Yeah. So, but we appear to be all in this situation together. So, watching out for each other's back is in our best interests.
That seems to be a good course of action, I guess.
And of course, as I know of you, sir, I get the sense that you might want to use this as an opportunity, maybe for yourself. So.
I like the way you think.
Well, to each their own, and to you politicians, it's something that you do. But again, if this goes well for you, you might find yourself a fast seat to an even higher seat.
I do like the way you think.
Mm-hmm.
So shall I let these others know then? To keep your...
Yes, quietly, calmly. I've always spoken to a couple of people who were just quietly trying to spread the word, keep everyone calm, and just to keep an eye out.
Much appreciated.
Okay, so you are now going to move ahead. So probably these three gents are the next nearest to you. So you accelerate away from Alan. It's not difficult. and you get to them.
Stroll up next to them and go,
Hello, sirs.
I will assume she's speaking to the old guys.
Okay, so I'll just say, oh, hello there.
Ah, well, the gentleman in front with the doing the coin thing. Rather impressive, I think.
I've not seen that. A gentleman doing a coin trick?
Yes,
Oh.
well, I do not mean to alarm you, but he's told me that we might be being followed, which is...
He looks over his shoulder both ways. I don't see anyone.
Neither do I, but it's not a favourable situation for us all, is it? So I think we should stick together. I'll do what I can to keep everyone here safe.
They will all nod and much obliged, sir. Yes.
I am a servant of the people. I do what I can.
So, is there anyone else that you're going to tell?
I'm definitely going to tell the young lady with the big ass backpack.
Okay. And are you going to? So just her.
Yeah, just her specifically, but of course, just try and quietly.
Okay.
Amongst everyone.
So you've just told them. You turn around to tell her. She's not there.
Was she bringing up the rear, or were there people behind where she was?
She was one of the last ones in the group.
Anyone see the girl with the big backpack?
So the girl in the hoodie with the kind of the sling bag says she was right here a moment ago.
Okay. I'm gonna have a look out, see if I can see anything.
Okay. Alan says, I think we should get inside as quickly as possible, and he redoubles his efforts to try, and he does. He suddenly starts to find speed he hadn't before and starts to dash along the path.
How many people are reacting to this?
Well, everybody is reacting, actually. Everybody's looking quite alarmed. There are people... No one's taking much of an initiative immediately. No one is kind of... Unless you're doing something immediately.
the amount
First, I'm just looking around. See if
So are you dropping the bags you're carrying, or are you dragging them around with you?
I'm still carrying bags. I'm not looking at the old lady, but I'm just gonna have a look, see what I can see.
So you can see him starting to move around. You can see the other young guy kind of looking around. You can see the guy that was with Denton, like booking it along the path. And everyone else just seems to be losing their shit.
Right, I'm going to hand the things over to
to Roger or
Roger.
to...
I'll hand it to Roger.
Daryl. Yeah.
2 seconds. Yo! Everyone listening?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I know what your leadership pool is, yeah. So, yeah, they... yeah.
Right, shh. Everyone. Might be a farmer or something, alright? I don't know where the hell we've been dropped off, but... half a mile. Just stay together. If you're worried, get any light sight you got. Just head down the road. Get to the hotel. And just get inside, yeah? No point panicking, and this isn't exactly safe. So, calm down, get your lights out, start moving together.
Speaking of which, for the amount of time we've been walking, can we see any buildings at all?
You feel certainly like you've been walking for a quarter of a mile. Yeah. And maybe you can see something, but you know what you can't see are many lights. But you think you maybe can see a shape starting to materialise up ahead. So, sorry, Daniel, what is your charisma and leadership pool?
My specialty apply?
Remind me of your specialty?
Inspiration.
Yes, it does.
8.
Okay, so you don't need to roll. People who are starting to panic stop panicking. The group starts to gather up, kind of so they're close together, and they start kind of making their way. So you are looking around.
I'm having a look around.
I would like a wits and awareness.
4.
You think you can see some disturbed. So where some of the branches have been disturbed and the grass, you think someone's gone because you had to go back a little bit. Yeah. You think you could follow a trail potentially. You'd need a light.
No, I'm going to do alert. I'm going to go look back at the group, follow the group.
So you're gonna just go.
I'm gonna follow the group. I'm assuming that with the package she's got, she should be fine. She certainly seems a bit capable. She's got a bit of money as well, so she might just lift off to camp.
Just give me one more roll.
One more wisdom minus. 3.
Okay. You realise as you're turning to go, and you're thinking to yourself, she'll be fine because she's got that pack and stuff. That the pack is in the bushes. It's just like it's laying there, like it's been dropped.
I'm gonna grab it, shoulder it, and just. So I can't follow it. I gotta get back in the group.
Okay. So you take her pack and
just try and look at it.
And there's this moment when you realise the group, they're not going very fast. They're keeping together, but there's that little bit where now you are the one at the back of the group. You are the one with a gap. It occurs to you that you don't have a light. Can I have a I don't know. How like are you trying to get back to the group quickly?
I'm trying to get back to the group very quickly. Yes.
Okay. Could I have a a strength and athletics?
Ooh, shite.
Ooh.
Because you're trying to. It's a burst of speed, and you're carrying a heavy backpack.
Nada.
Nothing at all.
I got nada.
Yep. Let me just roll my extremely small dice pool. Okay.
I'll prop it for you, don't worry.
So I'll come back to you in a minute. So you're making your way, you lot, towards along the path, and after a while, you do see the shape of a building starting to materialise.
Okay.
It looks like quite a large, old, 17th century house. That kind of stacked bricks look. There are vines growing up the side of it. It looks in good condition. It looks nice, actually. It looks well kept. Looks expensive. But the thing that you will note that's odd is there don't seem to be lights in the windows, or at least they do seem to be lights, but they have the flicker of lamplight rather than electric lights.
So on the way down, I'll continue to converse with these guys, keeping them calm, especially the one that's trembling from the fall.
Yeah, Roger is quite. He's trying to cover it with bluster and talk, but
Yeah.
you can tell he's shaken up, and the dialogue with you is helping him.
So as soon as we're within sight of this house, did I get a gist of how many people was with us?
Yes. So basically, there are obviously the three of you, and then you've got Alan, and you've got Jason. You don't obviously know everyone's names yet. You've got the lady with the hoodie and the sling bag. You've got Betty, the actress, and there was the girl with the big backpack that you gave money to, who of course has disappeared.
Would I notice that she has?
Yeah, well because that's what was.
Okay.
Actually, yes. Now you will. When you start to check, you will note she's gone, and of course, when you look back, you will also note that other guy has gone.
Can you take these two over to the house?
Of course.
Roger, can I borrow your light?
Of course.
Right. Can you get everyone?
For everyone around me, we need to get there as quick as possible.
Okay, so you gather them up and you start heading.
I'm going to start heading back slowly and checking things to see as best as I can with a piddly little light.
It is a terrible light.
To see if I can see where these guys have gone.
Okay. I'll come back to you in a moment.
Cool.
So, Denton, you take the group to this house, and you are coming kind of in through the back, effectively. There is a kind of a kept garden, and there's a gate that opens out into it. There's obviously like a stone patio out here, and chairs and tables where you can kind of enjoy the look out into the woods, and it's quite pleasant in the daytime. And yeah, you can see a back door. You can see light from within, but not a lot of light for a building of this size.
Walk right up to the back door.
Okay, you bang on the door. How long are you going to wait?
A minute or two.
So it's not. You see, you bang a couple of times, and after a while, Alan's like, "Oh, please let me, Denton," and then he bangs on the door on your behalf. And then after a while, a man will approach the door. He looks to be maybe in his early 40s. He's quite tall. He's well over 6 foot. He's got kind of thick brown hair with a few grey streaks in it. He's carrying a lantern, quite a strong lantern. And although he's wearing quite a smart uniform, there is something outdoorsy looking about him. You know, the kind of the tan of his skin and the kind of the ruddiness of his skin. But he'll open the door and kind of takes you all in. And he says, you must be the ones from the coach. Do come in.
Yes, it's been a long walk, and I'd quite like to get in for some rest.
Of course. Come this way. Come this way. So you'll be shown.
Everyone, we're in.
So there'll be lots of wrangling of bags and shuffling, and you haven't got very far down the corridor when Betty will say, "Is someone not going to say something about the fact that some people have not come with us? That something is outside. That something has happened."
I assure you, the loud one. He went and he's gone and looking for them. He's got the light. We're going to be fine. We're all here, and I'm perfectly sure they'll be catching up.
She said, I see. You sir. And she's talking obviously to the guy that's let you in, and he turns. She says, "I want your phone immediately. I want to go to your phone immediately." And he seems to pause for a moment, and he says, "I'm very sorry, madam. As you can see, the power is currently out. Something to do with this storm we're experiencing, I'm afraid. Yes, but if you come with me, we do have some refreshments for you and a place to make yourselves comfortable, and the rooms are still just as good as they have ever been." You can see this normally very composed woman is rapidly moving to losing her shit. You can see it happening in stages, and you reckon she's a straw away. Any second, anything, she's going to blow. You can see it. She's trying not to show it, but you can just see this little, and the way she's taken her gloves off and she's kind of wringing them in her hands. She's not even carrying all her bags anymore. You notice Jason's kind of picking them up, but he keeps looking back, he's looking quite agitated.
My lady, come on, we'll go get some refreshments, a nice drink or two, and retire for our rooms. All of your bags are here safe, I presume?
She says, yes, my bags are fine. It's everything else that's not fine. Everything else. I am supposed to be getting ready and rested for my audition. This will not do. And I can't even phone. Do you know how long I've...
When the power comes back up, I promise you I will leverage some of my contacts to get what I can for you.
Okay, I think probably this is charisma. Probably plus, I guess, leadership or persuasion. I'll let you call. Probably persuasion, actually.
Persuasion, yeah, okay. Charisma and persuasion.
Yeah. You can still spend willpower if you need to, folks, just so you know.
2 successes.
Okay.
Out of 4.
She nods and says, "But you do that for me?"
Of course, I am a servant of the people, and that includes you, of course, my lady.
I think I've seen you before. Are you Mr. Fesk?
I'm so glad you recognise me.
Oh my goodness. Oh, such a pleasure. She holds out her hand.
Take it.
Very gentle, doesn't really grip your hand at all, but kind of shakes it, and seems to calm. And you move further inside. Right, Percy.
Yep.
I would like you to make let me just find the right thing. Oh yeah, intelligence plus resolve, please.
Intelligence plus resolve.
I told you that voice I'm making would destroy my throat, and it is. I don't trust that.
I get a sense whenever I
It's a choice between that and that. Reroll.
Yeah, I'll spend some.
Plus, the less willpower you have, the easier it will be for us later.
Through the scraps.
Survival of the fittest, Joe. And that coin I
I'm the
want.
fittest, and I got 4. Spending a point of willpower.
Okay.
Not much of that.
So here's what happened. You went looking, and you stumbled in the dark, and you slipped, and you fell down into a ditch. It's the same ditch that that other woman fell into. And you must have hit your head, because you'd obviously blacked out for a moment. But that's what happened. What happened was that you stumbled in the dark, and you fell down a ditch, and you must have hit your head. That's what happened. So, okay, Daniel, you are making your way along with your torch, and you find the point where they seem to have gone, and your light catches the figure of Percy as he's starting to sit up. Can you make a, let's say, wits and awareness?
One.
Okay. Well, he's obviously been on the floor. That's the main thing you notice. And not too far away from him, you can see the woman with the duffel coat that had the big backpack on. Well, she's not wearing the big backpack now.
She's with him.
She's not with him, but she's not too far away. You can see her. Kind of getting up.
You alright?
Oh. I think I slipped and hit my head.
Something hit your head, or you tripped and fell?
I think I tripped and fell.
Right, stay, I'll come get you. You alright?
So she is starting to stand and is kind of rubbing her eyes. She says, "Yeah, I think so." As she starts to come back to herself, the first thing she starts to do is to check her pockets and her inside pocket of her coat, and then seems to relax.
Does she look like she just got up as well?
Yeah.
Right, what's the ground like around here?
Okay. Give me. Well, it's a bit uneven because it's dark, but it's
a bit uneven. But
Yeah.
no more uneven than what we just walked down.
I mean, what you've been walking on is a gravel path, whereas this is just off the, it's just grass and kind of roots and things of trees. But yeah, it's not. She says, I think I'm okay. I must have tripped. Yeah, I think I tripped.
I'm gonna get my keys.
Okay.
And I'm gonna poke them through my fingers, and I'm gonna put it in my pocket.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make my way very slowly towards them, but I'm gonna keep an eye on the woods area,
Okay.
or wherever my perception is hindered.
Okay. So you are watching the woods as best you can. What are you doing, Percy?
I'm gonna look and see if I've got all the bags that I had with me, if they're all still there, or.
Yeah, the bags. I mean, they obviously you dropped them when you fell, but apart from that.
I saw your bag. Your bag's over here. I'm gonna sort of slowly get
She runs over. She says, "Oh, thank goodness, thank goodness." And she picks it up.
Yeah.
And says, "Where are we? Where's the path? Oh no!" She starts to look really worried.
This gentleman here seems to have come looking for us. Are we all right?
Do you know the way back?
Yeah. Right, get your stuff. Start heading that way.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just gonna move.
I'm gonna wait for them to pass.
I'm gonna be keeping a lookout.
Okay.
Horn mad.
Give us a wits and awareness, Daniel. I'm afraid this is a contested roll.
Okay. I'm gonna re-roll with a willpower.
Okay.
First two at the moment. Where's my willpower? Oh yeah. 3.
Can't see anyone, but you know there's a difference between an empty wood and a wood where someone is there. like the same thing. There's a difference between an empty house and a house that is occupied. You know in your gut that there is someone, and you don't think they're that far away. It's the dark. Your light's crap, but they're out there somewhere. You know it. You can feel that tension in your body that just tells you
Okay.
that there is someone.
As they're walking past, I'm going to take out my phone, click a button so it lights up,
Yeah.
and go, yeah, can I get an ambulance and the police, please? Yeah, we've had a fall. I don't know the condition, and I'm just going to start walking backwards.
Okay.
Even though it's like, beep.
All right. I would like a manipulation and subterfuge roll from
Oh, you have to choose manipulation,
Well,
don't you?
you are. I think it is manipulation rather
Yeah.
than
plus subterfuge.
Yeah,
God
because
damn.
you're basically pulling a fast one.
2.
Okay. So you do this, watching, backing off, speaking. You hear the crunch of your feet on the leaves and the gravel as you're making your way back, because there's lots of leaves on the floor at this time of year. You get back to the path. No one comes from the woods. What are you doing?
Where are they? No, where is...
I
I know what you
so
are.
she is staying pretty close to you.
Yeah, I'm just going a path.
Are you waiting for Daniel? Or are you
We are kind of slow walking, but just sort of waiting for Daniel. So we're very slowly moving, but waiting for Daniel to catch up.
So as you're slowly moving down the path, although you're not alone, it does occur to you that it's very dark and you have no light.
See if I can.
I mean, you know, because there are trees. There's very little starlight. There's clouds in the sky, patches, but no moon.
Okay. Have you got a torch in that big bag of yours? Come on, you need to have a torch in that. I'm pretty sure you'll have a big torch in that bag of yours.
Just no battery. Sorry.
Can I say, can I tell she's lying or not? Because with that big thing of a bag, it's
You can. Yeah. No, you don't think she's lying. You think she's telling the truth.
Alright. Right, dude.
She says, can you do me a favour? My name's Tamsin, by the way.
Tamsin, I'm Percy.
She says, I'm holding to this end of my bag. Can you hold on to the other end? So, like, if we get separated, like we can't get separated. Hey, I know. Hang on. She starts rooting around in her bag, and she gets out like a string belt, and she ties one end around her wrist, and she offers you the other end. She says, "You really think there's someone out there?"
Yeah, potentially.
Because the thing is that you thought there was someone out there, but actually, you just tripped, and then you hit your head.
I'll bloody hit your head in a minute.
Go on then. Yeah. Wait for that to get it back. I can wait. We all three if that make you more comfortable.
Okay. So Daniel, what are you doing?
I'm keeping up the pretense until I'm away from where they were.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to use the illumination from my phone to keep an eye on the ground.
Sure.
And the torch to locate them.
These two.
Yep, and as soon as I've come up close to them, I'm going to hand him the torch and I'm going to keep my phone.
Okay.
Have they got like obvious injuries to their heads? Are they like...
Are you using your phone light to try and ascertain?
Before I hand the torch over, I'll do it quick.
It's hard to tell because he does look... They both look like they've fallen over in the dirt. There's a bit of mud and dirt on them. Have you got any medicine?
Yeah.
So the thing that will strike you, even in the poor light, is you think they both might be in shock. They both look a bit pale. But apart from that, you can't see any.
Okay.
They're not bleeding. They're not. They might have bruises or swelling that's going to come up. But in this light and this soon afterwards.
Okay. Then, as I walk down, I'm going to try and keep my voice as calm as I can.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be like, right, I didn't get your names.
Percy.
Percy and...
Tamsin.
Right. Nice to meet you. I'm Daniel.
Nice to meet you, Daniel.
Is he cold?
He does feel a little bit cold.
Right. You alright?
I think I just hit head.
She cold?
I just need a rest.
So are you offering a hand?
Yeah.
She hesitates a moment, but then she will shake it.
She cold.
She's wearing like woolly fingerless gloves, and her fingers do feel cold.
Okay.
And she,
Who's got less body mass?
her probably.
Take the
You think the
jacket
duffel
off.
coat's quite thick, but she's not.
Right.
He's also quite slight though.
Okay, then I'll take the jacket off and I'll give it to him.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask him, I'm just going to put it on him.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So, why are you coming down here? Not like trying to be invasive and stuff. It's just we got to walk. So.
No, she went. I kind of went to kind of see where she went, and I tripped and fell, smacked me down or something. I don't know.
What's his pupils like?
I mean, obviously, when you shine the light, they.
Yeah, not like direct.
But
Not like.
yeah.
We're going to be like. I'm
Right.
trying to gauge how far, like, how
he-
severe their shock is.
You think he is in some kind of mild shock?
Right. Okay. I'll just keep talking to them as I'm
So
leading them down
she'll
the track.
say, I'm just trying to. I've got some family in Oxford. I'm trying to meet up with them.
Oh, same. What about you?
I just got back from performing at the festival.
You perform?
I do some street magic. But I'm not feeling
I must have.
then put it away.
I must have just. Must have got distracted and I just tripped in that ditch back there and I must have hit my head or something.
Okay.
I don't. I feel all right, but I'd like to get inside soon.
Well, we're going to be back soon. Then we can make calls. You can speak to your family. You can, check in whoever you got to check in with.
Yeah.
It's not far, so just keep walking
Yeah.
and just keep chatting. There's nothing else to do. Don't worry about.
I gotta look up and see how potentially close this storm might be, or if it's on us yet.
So there's no rain. There are some clouds in the sky, but it's not complete coverage. You can see a few patchy stars, but most of the sky is cloudy.
Yeah. The storm hasn't hit here yet then. That's good. Let's a bit far away. We got far to go before we get in.
Have we got far to go?
You don't think so?
No.
Tamsin says, I don't think the storm's close. I normally get a headache before a storm.
Well, you're in Britain, so
Yeah.
apologies.
Yeah.
She smiles a little
Good.
bit. Says, thanks, seriously.
That's fine.
Second time you've helped me out today. It's not. You know,
Star Wars.
yeah. Yeah.
That's that classic, or is that is prequel out yet?
She says classic.
Good. Okay, so we can keep talking.
Yeah.
And I'll keep leading her down.
Okay. So you start making your way towards the and you will then start to see the house coming into view, kind of as previously described. And despite the fact that there are not lots of kind of big lights, you can see lights within, and there is a sense of that the safety compared to just the real blackness. Because when you look into the woods, actually your visibility cuts very quickly, and that's quite ominous. Although actually, no, there wasn't anyone out there. There wasn't anyone out there. It's just.
I need to sleep.
So you get to the door, and what do you do when you get to the back door?
I'll take the torch back off him because it's Rogers.
Yeah.
Oh.
So after not too long, the man that had met Denton previously arrives, and something probably Daniel you might pick up on as well is that he has there is something in his bearing that is reminiscent of someone who might have spent some time serving in the forces, or at least in some kind of police or something. There's something very kind of upright about him. And he says, good evening.
I believe the rest of our group are in here, so we.
Yes, that's right. They're enjoying refreshments right now. Perhaps if you'd like to come inside. He says,
Yes.
oh dear. He says, did you have a fall?
Yeah.
Oh, how unfortunate. He says, it can be very treacherous. That's why we ask most guests to come to the front entrance. He says, I'm sure a warm drink, he says, and something to eat, and you'll feel much, much better.
Yeah.
This way. So he'll start to show you inside. So meanwhile, Denton, while this was all going on, the same gentleman will have said, as I'm sure to you in the group, I'm sure you understand it was a rather last-minute call to put you up, and we are just having your rooms prepared. I'm sorry to inform you that due to the limited space, some of you are going to need to be sharing rooms.
I don't share rooms. I could have one with my retainer, Mr. Hadrian, but I don't share rooms.
In this case, the sharing with your retainer should be adequate. It's 2 to a room.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have an objection to sharing a room? And he looks at the group, and Roger takes Daryl's hand and says, "Not us." And you see Betty says, well, I'm sure you'll understand that I also don't share rooms and I don't have a retainer, so I'll be having a room of my own. Oh, she sounds like she means it. The man says, I see. He says, well, he says, perhaps I will see what can be arranged. He says, and you're not there yet.
Oh.
This is whilst you were off in the woods.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll shut up now.
Yeah, he says, well, you make yourselves comfortable, and we will see what can be arranged. So he'll then say, there are a few areas that you might find pleasant to wait in. He says, perhaps the bar might be beginning, but we do also have our own library here at the Old House Hotel, which is very well stocked. He says, does anyone wish to go to the library, or should I take you straight to the bar where we'll have refreshments?
Straight to the bar, I think, for me anyway. I don't know about the rest of these lovely people, but I'd quite like to get a glass of red wine down myself.
There is a swift chorus of the bar, please, and you are taken as a group into a really nice, comfortable room. It's a bit cold. That's the only thing kind of you notice about it. There are a few lanterns that have been lit in here. There are several quite nice padded leather chairs and a leather sofa to lounge in. There is quite an old-fashioned bar with wood panels and various drinks and things set up there. And it looks good, nice actually. You feel like, yeah, okay, this is a hotel I can get on with. You will notice there are some other people present as well, perhaps other guests. One of the slightly unfortunate things, of course, is that there aren't so many. There are quite a few seats, but what with everybody rapidly moving towards seats, you realise if you're not careful, you're probably going to have to sit with someone.
Barge my way through as many people as possible to get to one of the lovely padded leather seats.
I mean, they're pretty much all lovely padded seats, but there is definitely better ones than others.
Well, I would like one of the nicer ones.
I would like you, because Betty has also decided that she is going to have the nicest chair, and you both identified the nicest chair instantly upon entering the room. And as you both make your way towards it, I would like you to make, I think, let's go for an odd combo. I would like you to make a stamina plus intimidation roll. Because you're both lugging bags, you're both a bit tired, and also there's going to be a little bit of who just looks the most determined. Who looks like they will not be moved.
3 out of 4.
There was only ever going to be one winner in this contest, and it was you.
Of course.
She realises some halfway through and stops and makes quite a practiced sniffing kind of. But you don't see it because you're so far ahead of her. You're already pretty much at the chair, and you seat yourself, and then Alan will kind of come up not too long afterwards and join you. You can see various people kind of finding their places to sit. Betty seems to have revised her opinion of you and is not coming to sit with you at this point and is going to sit somewhere else. Alan says, I'll see about drinks and things, shall I, Denton?
It would be most kind of you.
And I'll see what I can do. I'll be right back and maybe get a little lay of the land.
A good idea.
Should I ask about the library, or are you...
If you would like to go to the library, then by all means, I think we've got our room secured for just us, so...
Yes. And he looks around. And a good thing too, in my opinion.
Absolutely, I don't want to share with these people.
So, he heads off, begins to make inquiries. So it's around this time that you will be escorted in. You will see, you'll be brought to the bar. He doesn't ask if you want the library, he just takes you straight to the bar. You will see this room, much as it was. It's beautifully furnished, clean, crisp rugs over kind of stone floors. There are paintings up, which obviously, Percy, you're not really in the mood to appreciate at the moment, but you know, it's been artfully decorated. It's a nice space. It feels, because obviously you've got these sort of stone brick walls and things, and big wooden beams. It feels very secure. It feels like it's stood for a long time. It's going to stand for a long time. And after the kind of the weirdness of being out in the dark, it feels very solid. The only thing maybe that strikes you, Percy, is this would be a really great performance space because the light is lamps, which means the light is not perfect in its coverage. There's lots of places that you could be if you didn't want to be observed. There are lots of ways to move around this room if you wanted to, where unless someone was paying attention, they might not notice if you slipped in or slipped out. Like, that's your automatic read. You're like, cool. And the only other thing is, you've got a jacket on, obviously, and it's definitely warmer than it was outside, but it is a bit cold. That's the other thing that strikes you. I think both of you, with your pulls, by the way, you will both pick up on the fact, you're still cooling down if you're wondering, you both pick up on the fact that there is a fireplace, but it's not being used. But it's not stocked either. It looks like it's just, but it looks almost like a kind of a feature of design. You know, it looks pretty, but it's not lit.
I get a hand in the jacket. Thanks for the jacket. I'm just gonna hand her the lacquer bags. I'm gonna head over to Betty.
So, thank you so much. So, it's so good. Amidst all of this, and she shoots a look over towards Denton's direction. Horror going on. To have someone, a decent young man in this day and age, I'm very grateful. Very grateful. I couldn't help but notice earlier, you're a performer, you say?
Yeah.
Well, we must, once you've settled in, we must, you're all right. You're all right, darling. Hold still, hold still. She pulls out a handkerchief and starts to dab at your... She says, it's all right, I think it's just some dirt. Just some dirt.
Are you asking me to do a couple little tricks for you at the moment, or?
Well, a little entertainment might be nice. Apparently, we've got to wait for our rooms.
Yes.
Wait for our rooms. Ridiculous. And did you know the phone isn't even working?
What? To see why the phone isn't working?
Something about this storm and the power cut or something. Some nonsense.
The storm hasn't hit yet.
Well, clearly it's hit someone or something because the phone isn't working.
I get the sense it's going to be a rough night, unfortunately. So yes, I think what do your specific entertainment skills? Because maybe we can just do an improvisation collaboration or something.
Goodness, I suppose we. I don't know. Really, in this. She looks around.
It depends on what your skills are. I do.
Well, I'm an actress and I sing, of course.
So
I mean, it's been a few years, but I have done the odd musical in my past.
Maybe I can warm them up with some tricks so you can whilst you're preparing yourself.
Oh, yes, quite.
I can just I'll get myself a little cleaned up first. Not entirely for a performer to be.
Okay. So you're heading off to the bathroom to clean up.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of you see him kind of making his way out. He seems okay. He's a little unsteady on his feet. So you're off to the toilets, assumedly. So you're making your way up to the toilets. What are you doing, Daniel?
Sat on the edge of the room.
Okay. Just kind of watching.
No.
Just.
Admiring the fireplace.
Okay, so you're looking at the kind of unlit fireplace.
Yeah.
And admiring it.
Yeah.
And you've been looking at it for a while when you slowly start to become aware that someone is looking at you. I'll come back to you in a moment. Can you just give me a quick wits and awareness?
Wits and awareness.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Just a quick one.
1.
When you first go into the bathroom, again, the lighting is poor in here, and there's no power, so it's just lanterns. They have lit one in the bathroom though. But there's a moment when you come in and you see yourself in the mirror, and it's like, but obviously it's a weak reflection, where there's something about it just makes you go, ooh. But then no, it's just you do look pale though. You notice that.
Clean up.
And Alan comes rushing back. He looks quite excited. He says, "Oh, Denton, I've got the most amazing news!" And that's all we go for a break. So this is kind of one of those weirdly quiet breaks in many ways. So have we got any questions, Mitch?
Yes.
Woohoo!
We do. I've just been gathering them. So, Story and Codes would like to know how all of you prepared for this episode.
Ooh. I'll let players answer first.
I mean, in my case, I literally spent however long it was since you asked me on practicing this voice. So
It is, to be fair, an incredible voice.
Oh, thank you.
That's still not got old. I'm like, what?
that's the reaction I was hoping for.
Yeah, no,
so.
well done.
I ended up writing for a character that I actually was going to use. Yeah. It was a weird sensation. Knowing that he wasn't just going to be put in a pile of characters that never got to use. So, yeah, normal making characters. Although I did get it to you quite late, so sorry about that.
That's fine. And for me, I'd say as well, a lot of the preparation for this was various slightly rambling late night conversations with Mitch. which bore various fruits. Sometimes we went off to tangents about the craziness of D&D races, but sometimes we talked about this.
What about you?
Yeah, Phil.
Good chat.
Oh my God, he's gone! Dun, dun, dun.
People really like your voice, by the way, Davey.
Yeah, it's very cool.
We like it so much, that's all you're allowed to speak to. For us, forever.
Oh,
now.
fuck.
So one of the other things to say about this session, obviously from the player's point of view, is that there's not a lot that they know. And that's kind of the point, that it's to keep them in the dark in that sense, and then have that darkness slowly reveal itself over time. So Phil, the question was, what did you do to prepare for this session?
What I did to prepare is remember for me what was a little bit of a childhood dream, which was to be a magician. But I proved that I wasn't the best at it, and
He got louder with the stage.
Yes!
I give a speech. Yes. So I got quite a considerable pool for character magic, which I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get used, but I get the sense I am not going to.
Oh, we'll see.
We'll see, won't we? Yes.
We'll see. Any more?
Yeah, so Cricket would like to know what it's like to be back.
It's absolutely fantastic, and I guess I got to thank I gotta thank you guys as well because it's your positive feedback that got me back. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they said horrible things, of course, it
Yeah,
would
I'd
be
be
completely
gone.
different. So.
We would have brought him back anyway, just to spite you horrible people.
And a couple of people want to know how Titus is liking this side of the table. Or the room.
It's nice. I think I can count on 3 hands how many times in my lifetime I've been a player. Just replace my name with Peter's. Yeah, so it's nice. It's nice being on this side and not having to worry about all the stuff going on behind the screen. So yeah, and I don't know everything. I know. I feel so vulnerable. Exactly.
Ernest has asked if any of you have backed the Aberrant Kickstarter or know what that is.
Well, the RPG.
Yeah.
They doing it again? I'm not, but I shall. I love that game.
I think I'll have to check that out then, won't I?
Think World of Darkness Superiors.
Oh.
Yeah, the first version was awesome.
I
really
did
good.
check that out, yes.
Yeah, storytelling system with Superiors, it's awesome. Assuming it's the same thing.
Sold. If it is what you're talking about and not something completely different, sold.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I've got a question for Phil.
Uh-oh.
From Frassi Sass. Asking how you got your scar.
Oh,
Ooh.
If you want to share that.
Yes.
Do you want to know how I got
yes.
these scars?
How I got the yes. For those of you who may not know, it's just one there, down to there, and one little bit there. Yeah, I was 12 years old on a school camp, and well, long story short, I got in the way of a rolling log. I didn't see it coming. I was on a hill trying to focus on my foot. I didn't see it coming till the last second. Over 80 stitches in my face was not pleasant. What was funny, however, was the rumour going around school that I was dead.
that really caught me off guard.
Which honestly was hilarious. But yeah.
Oh yeah, they must have found it absolutely side-splitting.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious after I got over it, but it was the kid who accidentally dropped the log. Because it was a log.
Is this a murder attempt?
It may have been.
He can't remember.
It potentially could have been.
Maybe you just fell and hit your head.
But the way you kind of went out to the ambulance, white face, terrified. I'm pretty sure it was an accident. But yeah, it's
Spoiler, it wasn't.
yeah, it's so. Yeah, 12 years old, scar in your face. Does a few things to your head, but yeah, it's at the end of the day, scars are stories, and we all gather them over our lives, and scars are a story to tell, show that you've survived things. So I think I've basically gangled with fortitude with that. Come on.
I think there's a phrase I heard once, something about a person without scars is an unwritten book or something like.
Yep.
That's probably a better version of that, something like that.
I've got 4.
You've got 4.
Yeah.
I've got 1 and a burn. Does that count?
No.
Oh.
I've got a few. I've got one from where I was stabbed.
Right.
Yeah.
This is getting real tonight.
We want reenactments, people.
When you're 12 years old and you're touching your face, wondering why your face is wet and your hands are covered in blood, you're going. Or when your parents are then told he's had a bump to the head.
This is sounding very familiar.
Yes. And when they say the band's taken off, there's like, I can see the white of his skull there. That's not a bump.
Like, we're all making notes. Good descriptive.
Yeah.
That's nice. Like that.
That was just.
Cedar wants to know how everybody's day is going.
Oh. Quite nicely, thank you, Cedar. Yeah,
Very
quite
well.
nice.
Ask me again at the end of the session.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit of time left.
She also asked Titus why he must kill everything.
I have prepared an answer. I have prepared an answer. Can you read that?
I think it was wise to not say that on record and just tell me.
Yeah, I like deniability for the podcast. Yeah,
Yeah, I know,
it's
right?
good.
The paper said because I'm an asshole for the podcast.
I would like to point out that is not in my voice.
I would like to point out that's not my. Well, I'm terrible, but.
Thanks.
Any more, Mitch? Or are we? It was good
I think
set
that's
questions.
about it, yeah.
So
but the aberrant was. Well,
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
they
So,
did it again, right.
before we get back into part 2, I do want to say a special and also massive thank you to Alicia for doing the logo for Blood and the Tamsies, which is just astonishing. There are many clever thoughts behind said logo that will probably not be revealed tonight. But I promise you they're there and they're really sexy, so we'll see. But yeah, no, thank you, because she did such an incredible job, yeah, it was really, really good to work with her, and that she got the concept really quickly. And the hardest thing actually was choosing between the different concept arts, because they were all good. But yeah, we're really, really happy with what we have. So thank you. All right, shall we get back to it? Okay. I feel like in the side of the title I should be like, hello again. So.
Well.
You said it. You gotta do
Alright,
it.
and now I'm dead. So.
Are we all?
Percy, you go to the bathroom. You clean yourself up, and assume that you make your way back
Yep, make my way back.
inside. Daniel, you have been watching the fireplace, and you become aware that someone is watching you.
In the room or from the fireplace?
In the room. It's
Okay.
not someone in the fireplace. Someone sitting in a chair. There is a spare chair next to her, but no one is occupying it. She's not one of the people that got off the coach with you. She looks to be in her mid-20s, very short, about 5'5", maybe, you'd guess. She's got what looks like dyed blonde hair, kind of cut in a bob. And she's wearing glasses, got a roundish face, a tiny bit Velma-esque, but with blonde hair rather than brown hair, and like a polo neck. And she's got a book, which she is sort of reading, but she's obviously watching, like you're watching the fire, and she's watching you watching the fire. But when you look over at her, you'll catch her eye for a moment, and then she'll go back to her book.
What book's she reading?
You kind of squint and look forward, and you'll see she's reading a book called Human Stain.
Lovely. Okay. Where is she in relation to the bar?
She's not that close to the bar. She's actually almost at the opposite end of the room, and she's the most on her own. Everyone else, mainly because they haven't had much choice, has had to sit with someone.
Okay. I'll check my phone. Is there any signal?
No.
I will put away my phone. Calmly.
Oh, can you give me insight? Not insight. Awareness.
Okay.
No. Give me an insight and wits, please. Or you can tell me your pool.
4.
Your pool is 4. No, I want you to roll then.
3.
Oh. Okay, so you've had a good look at her, I assume.
She's staring at me.
Yeah, I mean, she's now gone back to looking at her book. You will notice that she's wearing like a grey skirt, but around the kind of where the knee would be, you notice a grass stain.
I don't have a watch or anything, do I?
I don't know, do you?
No.
You don't have a watch.
There's no clocks.
Oh, I see. Yeah, there is a clock.
Okay.
There's a clock on the wall.
Not time?
Like a wooden framed one. It is currently heading to about 7:45.
Okay. I'm not going to approach because that just seems creepy.
Okay.
But I will keep her in my peripheral just to see how she's.
Okay. So you're keeping half an eye on her. She, after a while, are you overtly watching her, or are you being subtle about it?
I'm being subtle. I'm keeping my attentions back on the. Away from that side of the room on there.
Okay. So
but if I would have noticed her in the first place.
Sure. So while you're doing that, Alan's come to you. He's got the most amazing news, and you've been like, "Do go on," and he is like, "So, I was having a talk with the hotelier, and then he showed me the library and things, and I saw a lady inside, and there was something about her was familiar, and it took me a little while to realise what it was, and well, her name is Isabel Tedesco. What's your politics and intelligence pool?
Politics intelligence pool is 6.
You've heard that name before. You think the first thing that pops into your head, and you can roll if you want more than this, is she has some connection to your party, and you think she is a donor. Quite a wealthy. Her name is not normally spoken about, but you've heard it in the inner circle. She is someone who has clout. She doesn't get involved in the politics side of it, but she backs people. It makes a big impact. And you think Alan knows this too.
That is rather excellent news. Shall we pay her a little visit?
Yes. Do you think I'm appropriately?
For the current situation, I think you're perfectly fine.
Oh, right. Good. You don't think I should stay and look after the bags?
That would be a good idea.
He looks slightly disappointed. Says, "Yes, that probably is for the best. Yes, Denton, I'll do that." He'll sit down.
Yeah. So I'll head to the library then.
You make your way through to the library. So you've come back. You kind of cross, like Denton going past down the corridor. As you come back out into the bar, they're just serving up some cold meats and various kind of like finger food refreshments for people to. 'Cause it's quite late, and it seems like the kitchen isn't running its normal, like repertoire of food. But they will have drinks at the bar, and they will have food, and people are starting to eat, and they can like heat up a kettle. There's hot and warm drinks and things. I assume you're partaking, Daniel, of these things?
No. Where have they laid out the food?
They'll have put it on one of the main central tables, and they'll have put plates and things so people can come and help themselves.
Okay,
a little
yeah.
buffet.
I'll help myself to some of the food, not a lot.
Okay.
So
as you're doing that, and what are you doing, Percy? You doing the same?
I'm just gonna also kind of eat kind of quickly.
Okay. So you're kind of starting to fill your face up, and a man who's sitting not that far away from the food, who you haven't kind of interacted with, because you're both kind of there at the same time, kind of stands up. And when he stands up, he kind of immediately draws your attention because he's quite a big guy, and I mean he's tall, but he's quite broad-shouldered, and he's attractive, and he's just one of those people that makes you immediately kind of, he's wearing like a corduroy, like brown jacket and trousers and a white shirt, and he smiles at you both. He says, "Excuse me, did I hear you do magic?"
Yes, I do. Why are you looking for a trick?
Well, not me actually. He holds out his hand. Says Finn, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Finn. Percy.
Percy, right? It's my son, Barnaby. He loves a magic trick. Says, maybe you could do one for him.
Yeah, I'm planning on doing a few around here. People are feeling a little down from the walk, and
that's a really good idea. Why don't you do that? I tell you what, he's just over there. I'd love to see it. He's at that difficult age, you know, and he's not having a nice night. I think something like this would really make his day.
Yeah, I'm gonna sort of travel around. It's that time. He's going to do a few little, probably card tricks. Keep it simple. Probably lighten up the mood.
He's just over there.
Yeah.
You don't believe him, by the way.
Yeah.
You don't believe him. but he is pointing at someone.
I guess I glance over.
So there is somebody, he looks to be somewhere in his teens. His exact age is hard to get because he's fully gothed up, like white face, black lipstick, black eyeliner. He's got like dyed black hair that's kind of in curtains. He's wearing a coat that looks like it was stolen from the set of The Crow. And he is reading what looks to be some kind of graphic novel. And he has very pointedly got his back to the room. Which is odd because he's sitting near, it just looks, he's like obviously turned, because most of the chairs are designed so that everything faces kind of inwards in its social feeling. And he has obviously moved the chair at some point to put its back to the room.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll get round. I'll probably start with the group that I came with, because they're definitely down from the trip. I know a couple of us fell on the way, so they're feeling down. So I'll provide them to entertainment. Don't worry, I'll circle around to him.
Much obliged, eh? Thanks.
Okay.
So, are you going to go and do that?
I'm going to start sort of going probably to the groups of other people who we were with first, and do a few little card tricks in the whole.
So you will be making your way over. So you won't see the two old gentlemen. They're not in here at the moment. You will see Tamsin is there. There's the girl who had the hoodie. She's there, who you've not been introduced to yet. And the guy in the sort of the plumpish guy in the suit that has been following Mr. Fesk around is in here, looking a bit dejected actually. Now you look in his direction. And where is he? There he is. Yeah, there's Jason. Yeah, he's just tucked away in one of those little shadowy seats just over there, kind of watching the room. But he's definitely here. He's definitely here.
Yeah, I'm going to sort of make a little gesture to Jason, sort of pointing to the elderly guy with the big bag on the politician, sort of saying, "That one later."
Okay. Yeah, he gets the signal.
And then start performing it. Yeah.
So who are you going to go? Are you just doing like a room performance, or are you going to someone in particular?
I'm just going to sort of go to if there's a group of 3 or 4, and then just do that.
And there are a group. They're not sitting as a group because most people don't seem to know each other, but there are a few people. And as you're starting to do your trick, you will hear a voice. You obviously see all of this from where you're sitting. The guy who'd spoken before has gone over to the lad sitting in the chair and says, "Come on, lad, you like your magic, come on." And you hear someone say, actually, we're making a wits and awareness to hear them.
Just him, or?
No, just him, because you're doing your trick.
3.
You just about hear him say, "Fuck off, father." And the guy says, "Hey, I know you love it, don't you?" And he just like takes his arm and takes him out of the seat, and the guy doesn't seem to resist, and he like guides him over to where the magic is going on. If someone could look less excited to see a magic trick, or indeed less excited about the world in general, you'd have to go far to beat this kid. He looks thoroughly like it. Just like being here seems to be like physically painful for him. He just, everything. He's obviously had to take his eyes off his novel, and now he's just, everything he looks like, fuck's sake. And if anything, that seems to be spurring on his father to more enthusiastic encouragement of pushing him towards where the magic's happening. Okay, so you're going to start a magic show.
Yep.
So are you doing a trick with anyone in particular, or are you just doing a set of tricks, like a little set?
Just doing a few sets, of course. The occasion, like pick a card, and that card goes, a card disappearing, reappearing, doing weird, wonderful things as with magic.
Right, I would like you can take your static to get a kind of reasonably good success, or you can roll. Because if you take it, that's just like a 1 margin win. So you'll do a nice set, and that's that. If you want to do like a wow, impress the crowd thing, you can make the roll.
Well, impress me.
Okay.
Perform for me.
So
People
people can make, if they are watching closely, a resolve plus let's say, awareness or insight, your choice, to try and see through what he's doing?
That's
No?
No, I'm watching the same thing I've been watching for a while.
So you're watching the fireplace?
Yeah. I'm not there.
No, you're in the library.
Yeah.
We're coming to you.
I got 5.
Okay, you do a very nice set. And one of the things that's quite nice is that you often perform outdoors, so it's harder with the audio quality. You have people going back and forth. But this is a captive audience. They are yours.
So Queen of Hearts here. No, follow the Queen. Follow the Queen. Gone. Where's Queen? In the deck? Nope. Oh, there it is.
And at first people are a bit like some people are watching and some people are a bit like they're just. But by the end of your set, everybody is enraptured. You will notice moving behind the crowd who are enraptured, very relaxed, is Jason. He seems to be taking your later as this later. Are you giving him a signal to tell him no, it's a different later?
Yep.
You are.
The card flick that we would have sort of.
Okay. Can you make a manipulation and persuasion roll for me?
Oh! 5 critical win.
Yeah, he gets the signal. You see that moment where he's like, he really wants to rob this guy. For some reason, he's decided he's keen. Maybe he's already clocked something of value. Maybe he knows something. Normally you guys are in concert, but something has really got his blood up. But when you give him that signal, he's just back like he was never going anywhere. Retreats back, all done, everything's fine. And when you finish your set, the cards have danced across your hands. You've done that thing, and you can see that genuine thing of people not like, how did he do it? Like they just don't understand. You, Daniel, feel slightly, I guess, removed from all of this, but you will hear the occasional gasp. You will hear a few claps, and the mood of the room changing. There's a lot of people who've been quite unsettled, and yeah, that it's coming round. And at the end, there is a genuine warm applause from people, and and quite impressive. You think if you wanted to, you could very easily now sit with any of the people, and start a conversation and get a warm welcome. You think you've broken the ice through that if you want to. So I'll leave you to think about if there's anyone you want to approach. Meanwhile, in the library. Oh, I tapped the mic, I'm going to get a glare. So, in the library, which is very well stocked, filled with what look like quite old tomes, and kind of collections of encyclopedia, and a few pieces of artwork, quite modest, nothing that detracts from the books themselves. A few very comfortable reading chairs. It's a very nice, peaceful space. There's a nice window that looks out into the woods. There is a woman sat chatting kind of quietly and amiably with those two older gentlemen that you saw. She looks to be maybe in her early 30s. Give me a politics and intelligence roll. She has black hair, which is worn quite long and braided. There is something very slightly kind of Mediterranean looking about her features.
3 successes.
That you note. You think she's aged well because you're pretty sure she's not in her early 30s. You think she's actually probably closer to 40 at least from what you've heard. So obviously there's some good makeup trickery going on here. And you do notice there's a little bit of extra rouge on the cheeks. And these two older gentlemen seem absolutely enraptured. They're so, it's quite sweet how charmed they seem to be by her. And she is being very polite. And it's very kind of, quiet conversation that you're coming into. But when you start to arrive, there just seems like a natural pause in the conversation where she smiles and says, it seems we have another guest. Do come and join us.
Thank you.
Kind of just sit down and let the conversation flow, but introduce myself after a little bit to
Yes.
not seem rude.
Sure. And that pause seems to come naturally, and it feels easy. She makes it easy. If you weren't so good at this kind of thing yourself, you wouldn't even notice she was doing it. But she makes it easy for you to introduce yourself. And the other thing that you notice is, and it's very subtle, but partway through the conversation, and it's not a very long conversation, it just suddenly seems like the rudest thing in the world for these two gentlemen to carry on this conversation, because it seems like, you know, you two have got something to talk about, and they haven't had anything to eat yet, and apparently they're serving things, and Daryl will say, I'm a bit tired actually. And Roger says, oh yes, Daryl, you really must get to, it's been a frightfully shocking evening. I'll join you later. And they start to...
I understand they're serving refreshments in the bar area. If you want to go along, catch a bite to eat there, I think they would love your company.
Roger says, oh, very kind. I could do with a little nibble before bed. Daryl probably won't. He's, well, his stomach these days. And she just smiles slightly, says, of course, and goes, like slightly embarrassed. She says, Mr. Fesk.
I must, well, before anything starts, I must thank you deeply for the service you provide to our party. We can't do it without people like you, and I must say, I am rather humbled to meet you here.
I did wonder if you'd recognise me.
Of course.
I, of course, recognise you, but it's much easier from my position.
It is a thing we have to do, putting my face out there with the people I serve, so to speak.
Yes, I must admit I hadn't seen your name on the guest list. This is a surprise.
Yes, we are in a rather frightful situation. We were due to be going back home, but our coach decided to drop us off here because of some bullshit about the storm going on.
Storm, you say?
Yes, that's the same line they fed me as well.
I have heard there's been a problem with the power here. That's why the lights are out. But she looks towards the window. No storm. Clearly, the wool cannot be pulled over some people's eyes. Though I imagine there are others inside who have been fooled.
I assume so, which is partially why I left Alan there. He's a lovely young man, but he's not too bright at times. Can't sit with the good people in society, shall we say.
I quite understand. But I always feel that perseverance is the most important thing to get through this life.
Absolutely, it's how I got to my position.
This troublesome evening you've been having does present us with an opportunity.
A rather lovely opportunity on my end because I got to meet one of our lovely donors.
Yes, and as I say, this is not the first time I've heard your name mentioned. I have been taking a little interest in your progress. If you don't mind talking about business at such a late hour, I would be interested to hear a little more about what your vision is for the future.
Well, where would you like me to start? I'd rather like to get some rest, but you are my priority here.
She gives a slight smile and says, yes, I can imagine you're tired, but these opportunities don't come along very often, and it's always wise to grasp them with both hands while you have the chance. So tell me, what sort of future do you envisage for yourself if fortune was to smile upon you?
Well, if everything was to go my way, I'd quite like to sit at the highest office of this country.
The highest office?
I think I could do quite a lot of good for my people and yourself, obviously, if you were to assist me in such an endeavour.
And let's imagine that you were to suddenly come into a position of great power, where the normal things that stop us from doing what we feel is important were removed, and you could do anything, what would you do with that power? What sort of changes would you make in the world?
Well, quite frankly, I'd like to see myself taken care of first off, and then, well, the people around me who I'm rather close-knit with, shall we say. Then I'll extend that to take care of them.
So you're saying the most important thing to you is to take care of your close associates
Oh,
first?
absolutely.
And by that, do you mean family or friends or both?
Oh, a little of both. The people that matter to me become my family after a certain amount of time.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. I really couldn't. Can you make your choice of charisma or manipulation? If you're lying out of your arse, it'll be subterfuge. If you're speaking the truth, it'll be persuasion.
So that'll be manipulation and subterfuge.
Sweet. And I'm afraid
Dice
you
pool of
will need.
6.
You will still need to roll for this one,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
afraid.
I'm using willpower to reroll some of that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. That's a terrible roll for that.
2.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. She looks at you for a long moment, like really taking you in. Can you make a let's say wits plus awareness or insight, your choice?
Let's do insight because I have no dots in awareness.
Okay. So she looks at you when you finish speaking, like really measuring your words. Like, do I believe what this man is saying to me?
Again?
And she's looking at you, and you can see her nodding slightly, like whatever you said seems to be confirming something that she's thought, and you get the sense that she's pleased. And you're so pleased about that, and you're so busy thinking, oh my God, this is great, this is going to be it, because she is loaded. And she's connected, and you're like having little dreams of your like parade when you're voted in and stuff. You almost don't realise that she hasn't blinked in far too long. And then it's like she remembers, and she blinks, but it's too late. Like her blink almost seems like an afterthought. Like it makes it kind of more weird somehow. But she smiles at you, and she says, "Yes, You hear things, of course. You do hear things, but I wanted to be sure. You have to meet someone in person. Listen, I'm not here by accident. Can I confide in you, Denton?"
Of course you can.
There is an unofficial meeting, but a most important meeting. I'm sorry for the mystery, but it is the kind of meeting that if you attend, you will likely hear things that, well, how can I put this, that are sensitive, and that will place you in a certain position. And so, I am not expecting you to turn up, but I will say that if you truly wish to make a difference, and to help those close to you, to secure the future of your family and your friends, then I would strongly urge you to attend that meeting. It's going to be at 2 o'clock this morning, and it's going to be in room 4.
Well, first off, thank you so much for giving me the information about this meeting. We have, well, a few of those in our party, we know that, and I would be delighted to come if you will have me.
She smiles and then says, very politely, she says, "It is of course only an invitation for yourself."
Absolutely.
I'm
And
so glad to be there.
you are then, assumedly, dismissed.
Take
You
a slight,
think?
slight bow and.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's weird, you just know, it's over. You're not sure, does she make a slight movement of her hand? Is it just something about the way she looks back to the, whatever, you know it's time to go. So you make a slight bow. Are you leaving the library entirely, or are you, and making it back to the bar? Okay. So, Daniel, you will be aware, of course, of of Roger and his partner making their way, and they are saying kind of like goodnight to each other, kind of not far away from where you are. And Roger is kind of explaining that he's going to stay a little bit longer because he's been a bit jittery and he needs to settle his nerves. And Daryl's a little bit like, makes a kind of grunt and says, I know that what you want. And Roger says, oh, you know me too well. It's so nice to have so many young people around. I really want to. And Daryl just kind of says, I'll see you later. And they part company. And Roger will come in and says, oh, Daniel, what have I missed? I've been in the library. What have I missed?
Food from the.
Oh, I'm famished. Daryl really should eat more. I mean, I don't know. He's terrible sometimes. I'll take him up a little plate later.
Can't imagine they'd have an issue with that.
Well, if you'll excuse me. Have you eaten?
I haven't touched my plate, but yeah.
Oh, good. He looks at you, and it goes off to the... And you're remaining watching the fire?
The non-existent fire. Yeah.
Yes, the fireplace.
Yeah.
So you're sitting watching the fireplace, and you can hear like a little bit of conversation between what the man and his son, but it's like a hushed conversation. But you heard a little bit of it before because you've kind of tuned into it now. And he's saying, "No, I think it is time for you to go to bed, actually." And you can just about catch the lad saying, "I'll say it one more time. Fuck off, father." He says, "Have your own way. We only be cranky in the morning." And then he will make his way over Finn will make his way over to you.
Okay.
He says, "You're right there?
Yeah.
Yes. Not hungry?"
I'll get to it. I mean, meats is gonna keep.
Aye. So, what brings you here?
Take a seat, I guess.
Very kind.
Visiting. Well, meant to be in Oxford.
All right. Meant to be.
Well, yeah, the coach.
Well, I heard a few people talking about that. Something about the roads being closed or something.
Wasn't really explained.
Ah.
What about you?
Me? Oh, I'm just having a wee trip with my boy. He's
Seems confused.
He's a bastard. I mean, you know, you know, it's just his age, you know.
I sympathise. I do.
But no, I've got to go and take him to see his mum. She's well, she's English, and well, things between us didn't really work out, you know. So, and he's a bit. He looks over at the teenager, taking it hard, you know.
Yeah.
He used to smile occasionally.
It's worryingly. It's a worrying regularity. I mean, even if they haven't got stuff going on, most kids that age are like. I used to teach.
A teacher?
Yeah.
Really? I used to be a lecturer.
Oh, right. Would you lecture?
Scottish history.
Yeah. Where?
Edinburgh.
Oh, right. So you've
Aye, I live in Edinburgh, but I'm taking my son to see his mum. But slowly, you know,
Yeah.
taking
Well,
up time. I thought it'd be nice for him to see a bit more of the world, you know.
yeah, I suppose.
I mean, you try and do things for them, don't you?
Yeah.
I look at you for a moment. So, if you're not a teacher now, what do you do?
Between work.
I'm sorry to hear that. You know, and I was chatting to some of the others, they were singing your praises, you know. Saying it got a bit scary out the back.
Well, yeah, weren't really told that much. Didn't have a light and just told to walk in a direction in a place I didn't know. Of course, they're going to be upset.
Aye, but you weren't, were you? Were you
Terrified.
But you didn't show it, did you? That's my point. See, the way they tell it, you're like some kind of hero out of the books. You're like calming them down, you're looking after them.
I told
Went
them what
back
to
for
do,
some of the
Rich.
ones that had gone missing. I mean, I know you're brushing it off, but that's a rare quality these days. Don't you think?
Maybe.
I know it's not always appreciated. You know, like, besides, sometimes the things you do for people they don't notice. But you do them anyway, right? That's the important thing.
I suppose.
You want a drink?
No.
I've got something. It's not stuff at the bar, right? It's not the kind of stuff you buy off the shelf. It's good stuff.
No, I'm fine, thanks.
You sure? He takes out a bottle that he seems to have been carrying, but kind of like low. It's an unmarked, but it looks like whiskey bottle.
No, I'm fine, thanks. Can
Can you make a willpower roll? Because it has been a while and it does look good. There's something about the way he's selling it to you.
1.
I mean, one drink wouldn't hurt, would it? You think?
Sure.
Aye, that's the stuff. He says, I've got some glasses, I'll be right back. And he goes, and he does that. So, Percy.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Uh,
So you finished your trick.
yeah, finished.
The room is yours if you want it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna sort of just gonna go between just quiet conversations. You know, keep using the case of maybe kind of like a coin toss to we should keep spirits up.
So you're just doing a bit of general touring.
Just general touring.
Okay. So a couple of things then. You will learn that the girl with the hoodie, who now that she's in like a inside, you'll notice she's wearing a t-shirt with like a Space Invaders symbol on it. Her name is Cedar, and she is quite on edge. She's not really interacting with the rest of the room very much, but she'll chat with you. But she'll basically say something about this is bullshit.
I'm very much going to agree.
She won't have a lot more to say than that, but she is of the mind that you two should kind of stick together. Well, all of you should stick together because there's something weird going on. And she will point at a woman sitting over in the corner, kind of on her own, the one who was staring at Daniel earlier, for reference, and say, I don't like her either. So, are you talking to? Are you talking to Alan, for example? Who's here?
Yeah, I'll
Okay. So Alan will be very impressed. I really don't know how you did it. I don't suppose you could share a secret or two, could you?
how I did this? Well,
He's quite impressed.
it's easy. What it is just practice. Let's go.
You'll hear some polite applause, and it's from Roger, who's now come into the room. And of course, he missed your act from before. He says, "Oh, bravo, dear boy, bravo." He says, "I used to do a bit of juggling." He says, "Let me see. Let's see. Has anyone got?" And he's looking around for. Are you offering him something to juggle with?
No, I'm occupied.
So he will start looking for something to juggle with, and we'll be trying to find something. While he's doing that, are you doing anything else?
I'm just again. Can we still sort of going over
Talking to people. Okay. Just give me a quick resolve and awareness. Are you going to the woman with the book, who you've not met yet?
I'll talk that way in a bit of time. But
Okay. So as you're making your way over, you can make this roll.
3.
You notice that you can't see Betty anywhere, although you are aware of the rooms being now ready for people.
Yeah.
But on 3 successes, you will notice that her bag is still with Alan. Not with Alan. Her bag is still where it was by her chair, because of course she's not sitting where Denton was.
Yeah.
So you're going over to this woman.
Yeah.
Okay. What? So she's watching, like she's supposedly reading her book, but obviously as you get closer, she's clearly watching you approach.
Having a lovely evening. Well, for what can be.
Why don't you sit down?
Everything all right? Sure, I can sit down.
Sit down. You sit down. She says, it's Percy, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you want to play a game, Percy?
Depends on the sort of game.
She says, well,
I'm quite good at 3-card Monty.
so here it is. I like magic because you can make people believe whatever you want, and that's pretty amazing, isn't it?
And you also bring some joy. So these people weren't glum half an hour ago.
She
and
smiles at
they're
you, and it
happy
is utterly without warmth. She says, yes. Yes, you can bring them joy as well, of course. You may not believe me when I say this, Percy, but I know about the best illusion that there has ever been. And if you can do something for me, I will show you not only what it is, but how it works and how you can do it.
I'm going to imitate that.
Okay?
You did!
Yeah. Fuck it, why not?
What?
Nothing.
You got nothing? Yeah, you believe her. You utterly believe her. You think she knows the secret to the greatest magic trick there ever was, and that you think if you do what she asks, she will show you. You believe her utterly. I mean, you know, whether you want to do it or not is up to you, but you believe that she is telling you the truth.
Yeah. Fine. It certainly sounds fascinating, but of course the most complex illusions take a lot of time to set up, and they are quite complex. So I'm sure.
I'm glad that you mentioned time, Percy, because the thing I'm going to ask you to do is based on time. Here it is. I want you to bring me 3 things, and I want them to come from different people, and I want them to have no idea that you've taken them, and I want them to be in my hand by 3 o'clock this morning. But if anyone notices you, then you fail, and the deal's off.
Okay.
And I want one of them to come from him. And she points at the teenager.
That's potentially doable. And what 3 items are you?
And I want one of them to come from the woman in the library. And the other one you can take from anybody you want here.
Stay the fuck away from me.
But,
Okay.
but if you can take it from that guy, she points at the dad of Finn. She says, then I would appreciate it.
And so, what are these? What are these 3 items that you?
Anything you can take that's definitely theirs.
Hmm.
I don't care what it is. But obviously, points for using your imagination. So, as you say, take your time. But if you have them, and if they haven't noticed, then come see me. I'm sleeping in room 5, and then I'll tell you everything.
Okay. And I'm going to step away and kind of start in motion Jason to.
Okay.
And sort of step out in the corridor.
Okay. So you step out in the corridor.
Yep.
He's obviously comes with you.
Yep. I've had an offer that could get us into a lot greater things if we take a little bit of a risk. It's one that I think the two of us together are ideally suited for.
I'm listening.
Woman over there, pretty sure she certainly claims to be, and I'm pretty sure she knows some very good tricks that again could come out of us, and then of course you get to play your trade very well. So
He holds up a hand. He says, "Good tricks."
yes.
Like that's the sort of thing you talk about with a dog. What
Well,
do you mean, good
as in
tricks?
the tricks that I do, and even more grandeur. But there's a little task that she wants us to. Well, she would ask me, but together I believe we have the best chance. As usual, I asked myself as the distractor, and you.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
We got 3 targets. There's a woman in the library. There's the teenager, and there's his dad. Ideally, his that's the ideal target. Something unique to each of them.
All right. Which one first?
I think we've just stepped out of the main room. I'll slip along to the library, start a few conversations, start a few tricks, and then yeah. Unless there's many people there, it'll be one-on-one, and that one will be dead easy. It's the other two that's around everyone that'll be harder. But
Right. Well, I'll follow you. Wherever you go, I'll be there. You get them distracted, I'll take them.
of course, I'll head on.
Okay. So where are you going first?
Library.
So you start making your way to the library. So Daniel, you're having a drink, and it's quite pleasant. And it's good. It's good stuff. It's the kind of thing you take your time with, you know. It's like and you know, I've done a lot of travelling in my time, and you look to me like a man with a story. And you know, it might sound strange, but I always think sometimes a stranger is the best person to tell a story to, you know. It's easier, especially at night. So, if you want to talk, I'm here, you know. I'm happy to listen.
I'm not really much of a sharing kind of bloke.
I know, but sometimes it's good to take a chance, you know. Can you make a resolve? And he's social combating you. Can you make a resolve?
Plus.
Probably persuasion.
Okay. 4 successes.
Oh, I think the heat might be on. Let me just quickly check what I'm rolling. sorry, I've got to swap out dice. Okay, how many? 4? Okay, can you take 1 point of superficial willpower damage? It's very close, very close.
Okay.
So it's not conclusive. You can still refuse him if you want. But he looks like he really wants you to talk. Seems like it's important to him. But I mean, you said no before to people.
Fine. One condition.
All right.
You keep that away from me. Including that.
You're pushing the glass.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, all right. And as he reaches to take it, I want you to make another willpower check to see if you, because a bit of you does not want him to take this away. It's really good stuff. You really want it.
4.
But you've made your decision. You've kind of made this deal now, and you can kind of hold on to that. And he's watching you quite closely, and he just nods, smiles at you, and feels, in a weird way, it feels like he maybe he gets it on some level, and he puts the bottle and the glass away.
Right. What do you want to know?
That's up to you. I'm just saying you look like a man who's got something to say, and I want to hear what that is.
I mean, I've got an entire life story that I kind of share. I mean,
That's true.
I mean, it's early in the morning, but I don't think we've got that much time,
We've probably got longer than you think. But why don't you start with something interesting?
I'm gonna see my partner in Oxford. It's I think it's the first time I've tried a long distance relationship, and but he's important to me, so he's got a kid, Willow. She's awesome. I mean, a bit younger than your one, but
Barnaby.
yeah, but yeah, she's great.
It can be hard, when those ones you love are far away.
Yeah.
And harder still when you want to see them and you're not able to. I get that.
Yeah. I mean, it is hard, but he's important. She's important.
So you haven't seen him for a while?
Yeah, it's not a case of not seeing him for a while. I mean, it's a new move. He had some opportunities that came up, and yeah, what am I going to tell him? No. He's.
No, you're not going to do that.
No. But he wants to give it a go. So what's a 6-hour journey now and again? What's supposed to be a 6-hour journey.
So you're going to miss him now?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to send a text earlier, but
I'm sure they'll understand. If they care about you,
yeah,
they'll know your heart's in the right place.
Yeah, I know. But I need him to know that I'm reliable. It's you know, when you get a lot of people that just don't believe half of what you say,
And your word's important, you know.
Yeah.
Your word, it's your bond, it's your soul, right? If you say you're going to do something, you're going to be somewhere, that means something. It has to mean something, or you don't mean something.
Yeah.
That's how it is. See those fucking Tory wankers over there. I mean, it's all smiles, isn't it? But I don't believe a fucking word, you know. An old magic boy over there. I mean, that's just lies. But what I'm interested in is truth.
Yeah.
And you seem to me like someone who has a relationship with the truth. Even if the truth is hard, right? It means something to you. And I like that. So, this partner of yours and this willow, what would you do for them if you could?
Fucking broad question.
It's late, I like them. You know, best time. Besides, you'll probably never see me again, doesn't matter what you say, does it?
Suppose not. Anything.
You do anything. Do you
Like-
mean that? I mean, like, some people say anything and what they mean is anything that's not too difficult. Or do you mean anything?
It's not like I've got a lot left.
So you give anything for them. Anything to make.
Wouldn't you for your son?
He looks over. I don't know sometimes. No, seriously, yes, I would. For my son, I would do anything. Anything. And if I gave my word, I would do it. No matter what I said. I mean that. I think you know I mean that.
Yeah.
I think we got something in common, you and me.
Sounds like it.
Aye.
Anything else you want to know?
Let me think about it.
Right.
So, you are making your way out of the library. Where are you going?
Back to the bar.
So you make your way back to the bar. Anything you're doing back at the bar immediately?
Go meet back with Alan first, and
Alan looks very pleased to see you, and he says, "So, how did it go?"
it went rather well, I think.
Oh, Denton, we should get something to celebrate, some drinks.
I think so. I think that's a very good idea.
I'll go right now. He says, "Oh, and while you're away, this is very small business, but
No, I'm interested.
that young gentleman over there," he points kind of in Percy's direction, and then he goes, "Oh, seems to have gone. Well, maybe he's gone to bed, but he did the most amazing magic trick. Very, very impressive. Very cards and all. And even when he was close up, I just couldn't tell what he was. The drinks, yes, of course. Sorry, Denton." And he heads off.
The struggle is real.
So you're going to the library.
Yep.
And there is a woman there who is the one who'd been described in the previous scene, Isabel, and she seems to be reading. No one else is currently in here.
Is that a good book there?
She looks up.
My apologies. I think maybe it's Percy. I'm just wondering if there's a good book here, or if you know there are any potential good other books around here.
She gives you a very slight smile, and she closes the book and places it very carefully onto the desk. And as she starts to do that, you know, like, I don't know if you've ever had this as an experience, but you're suddenly really aware this is a lovely library. And she's impeccably turned out. And you're really not. You've been like, you kind of scrubbed up some of your face, but your clothes are stained with dirt. You feel suddenly like you just don't really know how to talk to this person. Can you make me an etiquette and charisma or manipulation, your choice, roll?
It's been fun.
That it has.
Or you can go composure even. If you want to go composure, I'll let you have that.
That's 2.
Okay.
He's a good man.
You feel.
You think?
You don't feel like you've insulted her, but you feel like you're on the brink. Like you're not normally that aware of this, but you are quite aware of crowds and whether you've got them or not, and you feel like you haven't won her over yet, but you don't feel like you've lost her either. But you feel like what you say next is going to be important. She hasn't really said anything yet. She's just regarding you in a kind of, but without doing that. I mean, she's not doing anything impolite at all.
My apologies for the clothes. Some walking tripped and fell. It's accidents unfortunately happen in life.
You poor thing. Perhaps you should sit down.
Oh, if you don't mind, I'll sit down.
I'm Isabel.
Pleasure.
And you are?
Percy.
Percy.
Percival, if you would like the full name.
Yes. I do think that sometimes when people shorten names, it loses some of its beauty.
I agree with that, but people tend to remember a shortened name, or they equate more to it.
Well, Percival, I assure you I am not people.
Of that I'm quite aware. Quite clearly.
Did you come to find a book?
I did, but I find the company interesting. What do you do via? What do you generally do? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I do many things. Although it's rare that one of those things is to have a conversation such as this at this time. I suppose there is a novelty in that.
There's novelties in many things.
But the thing about novelty is it can wear thin unless something of substance happens. So, Percival, what do you want?
I was looking for a book, but I had a little card show in there. Wonder if you might be interested in a trick or two. Pass the time.
Well, it would be rude of me to refuse an offer. I haven't seen a card trick in a very long time.
Bust the cards and start.
Okay, so this is going to be a contest of your performance skill versus her unnamed skill, in which, depending on how much you win or lose, will affect the difficulty of what Jason's role is going to be to rob her. Because as you know, whilst you've been talking to her, he has been moving around the back and creeping into position.
Oh yes, that he has.
Is this a willpower moment or is this a heroic moment?
Seriously, I have 8 dice for you, and I have 4 successes.
Okay.
That's the average.
Plus. Please.
So you begin to do your trick. When you performed in the bar, it was easy. You were in your element. It was easier than normal. She watches very politely, but the thing that's difficult with her is you don't feel like she's enraptured or under your spell. She's definitely interested. She definitely is watching. And you feel this weird kind of thing, like you really want to get this right, you really want to, and you do a really good trick, and you don't think like she sees through it or it goes wrong. But you're aware that you're working in a way you don't normally have to work. And you're not, it's really hard to read her, you're not sure. She's definitely making the appropriate approval. She's being very nice about it, but you're not sure if she really cares or not. You genuinely can't tell. However, you have got her attention. Shall we find out if it's enough?
Oh yes.
For Jason. To be fair, he has a really good pull for this.
It won't matter.
It might.
It won't.
I spend no points on them. Yeah, it shouldn't matter.
Okay. Obviously, you don't dare take your eyes off her
Nope.
in case you reveal Jason's position. So you have no idea if he's been successful or not. The trick comes to an end. And she says, "That was very diverting, Percival."
No, I don't. That was your interesting choice of words there.
Well, I was thinking about my book, and now I'm thinking about your trick. Oh, I'm so sorry. Did you have another trick to show me?
I can show you another trick if you would like.
Yes, of course. So, you start to show her another trick. Meanwhile, so you and Alan have shared some nice
I
drinks.
kind of need to come down off of that wild ride a second. Hang on. Okay.
And, you know, it's been very pleasant. And you are feeling like, this is pretty cool. This is actually pretty cool. You're aware that Cedar has retired now. She's kind of, it's moving towards kind of 10 o'clock. Roger seems to be looking around for someone and says, "Oh, it doesn't matter. I found the things now. I'm going to do some juggling." And he looks around for someone who might give him attention. Are you that some? No. Nor is Alan.
Oh well.
You look over, so does Finn.
Gives me a pause from Finn.
Yeah. So you both look over. Let me just check his pool. Oh, yeah. So,
We just
he
had a single dice
tries
there.
and he drops them and he makes a bit of a laugh about it and like breaks the tension, and then he says, but next time I'll definitely do it, and he starts to do it, and Finn's like, "Oh no, this is sad." He says, "Maybe we should do something." So, are you slow clapping?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm.
There are some claps, and he kind of,
It's not a sarcastic clap.
yeah,
It's not a sarcastic clap. I'm just trying not to go like.
yeah.
Do it again. Humiliate yourself. Yeah.
So he is like looking at you, and he sort of smiles, but like Roger doesn't seem to quite know how to take it, and Finn steps over and goes, "Here you go," and he hands him a drink. And Roger says, "Oh, thank you so much, thank you so much," and then Finn comes back to you and kind of gives you a go.
Yeah, that probably was a clearer message.
Well, you know, we've all had our moments, eh?
Yeah.
So, you're sitting with Alan. You will, by the way, notice this, Daniel. You will see the woman with the book, who wasn't, like, you were a bit weird, you know, you've got an eye on her. She goes across the room to where Denton is sitting. And she looks at Alan when she gets to the two of you, smiles at him. There's something about her, by the way, that immediately puts your back up. Like, as in, there's just something not very nice about her. And she looks at Alan, and she says, "Hello." And Alan says, "Oh, hello." And she says, "Fuck off." And then she looks at him, and there is a beat. I don't know if you're saying anything in that beat. There is a beat of 1, of 2, and Alan just pales and gets up and walks off. And then she sits in his seat.
So you're not really in my good graces.
She
Who
smiles.
the fuck do you think you are?
So I'm glad you asked that question, because I imagine you've had a lovely chat with Isabel by now. And she's told you all kinds of wonderful things. But let me tell you something. If what you really want is power, I can give it to you. Not some kind of illusion or nonsense, the real thing. I'll prove it to you. Are you ready?
I suppose so.
Whatever you do, just don't do what I tell you. All right? Now clap your hands 3 times. So, can you make?
That's right.
Can you make a intelligence plus resolve roll, please.
Yep, willpower. Five.
Ooh, ooh, that is very interesting. You still fail. You feel your body trying to get up. It's the weirdest sensation. You're like, I'm not gonna do what this woman tells me to do, but you're like, and you are just about, but you're weird. You're fighting your own hands, and then you can feel your hands like rising up in front of you, like they want to clap, and you are holding them. And then maybe you do as you did. You lock them together, but you can feel them wanting to move, and it's the weirdest thing. She watches you really intently, and her mouth curls down slightly, and you hear your hands go, but you haven't properly clapped them, and then you hear them go, but you still haven't properly, and you haven't stood up, damn it, you haven't stood up. And you can't tell if she's what she is, but it's like whatever expression she had has sort of fallen off her face, like she's forgotten to express. She's just kind of staring at you. I like you.
I don't think I like you.
As well. I think you have what it takes. If you don't
wouldn't be here if it didn't have what it takes.
If you don't want to get tied into other people's business, because they're offering you chains, I'm offering you power, then find me.
Where?
I'm staying in room 5.
Well, I have other offers to consider. I will consider yours.
Oh shit, hang on. So, you have this moment, you see her top lip begins to curl upwards, almost involuntarily, and you have this weird like, she's going to fucking jump at me, she's going to try and kill me, she's lost it, and then very, very slowly, she's like leaning forward, and then she just sort of, well, you had best consider them very carefully.
Oh, I will. I don't think you've got much sway over me, though, have you? You did the little hand clappy trick, but...
She gets up and like knocks the chair in kind of anger over, and then storms out in a clear loser's rage. Finn covers his mouth and goes, now that is the funniest fucking thing I have seen in ages.
Yeah.
I did not think that cunt would stare down that cycle. I just did not see that coming. That's incredible.
You know them then?
No. Well, not know them. You can give me an insight on that if you want.
Yeah, sure. You lying bastard. 1. God damn. I believe you.
He seems to be pretty much telling the truth, but maybe... yeah, he's pretty much telling the truth. He seems fairly straight up. So, you come out into the... you haven't gone straight back into the bar.
Yeah.
But Jason, when you go back in... when you see Jason, basically, he's about to go back into the bar. He just gives you the nod. Like, yeah. And then he goes in.
Step in as well.
Are you waiting, or are you going for someone immediately?
I'm gonna go back to the toilet room, but of course eventually get round to kid or father, whichever one we get to first.
Well, Finn is with Daniel.
Yeah.
So you can go to them as a group if you want. Or the lad, obviously you don't know, I think, but his name's Barnaby. He is now retreated to his position with his back to the room.
I'm going to go to him then first.
So you're going to Daniel and Finn?
Yep.
Okay, so you go to... So you've just seen this woman storm... So the one who talked to you earlier, who set you this challenge, walks past you. She looks like she could murder someone. Not you, but if you were in her way, she looks like she could murder you. And she goes out.
What happened to her? Someone pissed her off or something?
Didn't like the furniture.
I think she's just reading the wrong book, you know.
Can you insight that?
Sorry?
Can you insight that?
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, no, he doesn't think it's anything to do with the book. You don't think. You think he's being sarcastic.
Well, did I miss something potentially amusing? then?
But you kind of had to be there for it, you know.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like with the tricks, you got to be there for fun because people can just.
I liked your tricks. I thought your tricks were very good.
I got coin on fingers. I got coin back on fingers, just manipulating that. Yeah, it's
Daniel, you don't believe him. You don't think Finn thinks that much of his tricks.
How close is he to me?
Him?
Yeah.
Quite close. Because he's come up close to do the...
I'll turn the chair as though I'm trying to like look at him, but I want to put a bit of space between me and him.
Okay. So who are you doing your tricks? Are you focusing your tricks on Finn or Daniel, or are you trying to do them both?
just trying to do just trying to do them both and just can draw the eye.
Okay.
Yep.
So we are in familiar territory. Where is your attention, Daniel?
Flicking back and forth over to him as though to go, what?
Yeah.
And over to him to go, what?
Finn seems kind of like amused. Like,
Yeah.
he will say, you know, as you're starting your trick, he says, there's a time and a place for everything, you know.
Yeah.
Assuming you're just kind of,
Yeah.
okay. Finn just kind of gives you like a... Okay, so give me your roll. The difficulty will be higher in this instance. Oh, does he spend the willpower point? That's the question.
You know what? Fuck it.
Oh, burning that willpower.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing.
And that's my last one.
Ooh.
You're impaired.
And that went back because why not? Oh, and that was a 6 successes.
Okay. So Finn is like, you know, like this guy, and then after you start doing a couple of, you pull out the big guns for this. You do it, and he just starts to go, eh? What? Oh. And then he's like gradually being caught into it. It does seem like he's really good at what he does. However, I'm still going to give you a roll for me, Titus.
There's not a lot of point, but okay. Which ones?
Let's say something like resolve and
Oh, okay, that's better.
probably awareness.
Okay. No! I'm like,
Okay.
wow, the cards!
Cards, the coins, yeah.
The card was there, now it's there.
What was it called? 3 of hearts? That's a 3 of hearts, yeah.
Okay. Can you make an awareness?
Wits and awareness?
Yeah. You want high on this one.
Ooh, that will be a critical win for 6.
Okay. So, you're doing your trick. It's been a tough start because they were in the middle of some conversation, you sort of butted in, you had this horrible feeling they were going to tell you to fuck off before you got going, but you managed to get going, you caught their attention, they now both seem to be enraptured, and Jason has got into position. Jason lifts something out of Finn's pocket, because he's got like a jacket on, and he manages to you'll see, because he's got like an outside pocket, and he lifts something out of his outside pocket. You're not sure if you saw it or not, but you think as Jason's turning, did Finn's hand move? You're not sure if it moved or not. But did his hand move? It looked almost like he took something from Jason at the same time. It's weird. Maybe you imagined it.
From potentially the same area, or
it was so fast. I mean, you're not sure. You thought it was weird. He's sitting watching you. He's really into it, and it's just like, but faster. And did you see it? You got this horrible feeling you did see it. Holy shit! How did he move so fast? He's taken something from Jason, but you don't know what it is. But he's taken something from Jason. Holy shit! He hasn't even stopped looking at you. He seems really excited by your tricks. Really excited by them.
Yep.
So the tricks kind of start coming to a conclusion. So it's now getting towards 11 o'clock as you're finishing up, and you will briefly, you will certainly notice this, Denton, Isabel making her way kind of up to bed. And you know, it's the bar area is thinning out. You finish your trick, and you start to move away. So, what are you?
I'm gonna sort of slow slip over towards the Barnaby.
To Bellamy, yeah.
Barnaby, yeah.
Barnaby, sorry, yeah. So you go over to you start making your way to Barnaby. So are you saying anything to Finn when it's all done?
How the fuck did he do that?
I've got no idea at all. Well, I mean, I do. It's all about, you know,
I mean, the coin
action.
thingy's one thing.
Oh, right. And the whole thing about, you know, making you look at one thing and doing something else is very clever, but he's really good. I mean, I've not seen a trick like that, you know, in a long time. It's very impressive. He's so fast. That's the thing. You know, his hands are moving so quick. You can't follow them. So, where were we anyway?
Juggling.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
So, look, here's the thing. I should probably go and check in on my wee boy soon. I can't help but notice he's getting another magic trick free of charge. But I wanted to say something to you, because what you said earlier, it touched me, you know. And I was going to say this. Sometimes, you know, something can happen to you, something bad, right? And it can make you feel ashamed, or it can be bad for you. But for what it's worth, I think in those moments of difficulty, you know, when you're weighing it up, I think that's when you know who you really are, right? And all the tricks in the world, all that flashy movement and all that other stuff, that's nothing compared to that. I think if you look back on your life and you think about when things are at their worst, what you did, the difference you made to other people's lives. Like, even when the shit had hit the fan, right? You're better than that.
No.
I think you are. Listen, I wasn't sure I was going to do this, but come back down to the bar, 2 o'clock, if you want another drink. No, not a drink. I'll have the drink. You just come for a chat. There's something I want to talk to you about, but I need to get something. No obligation. If you think I'm a bit weird, that's fine. I get it. But I'd like to help you out. I know you're having a tough time, and I've been very lucky. And I was lucky because people reached out to me when things were shite, you know. And you look like a man who could do a lot of things if someone reached out to them. I'd like to do that for you. But it's up to you. I'll leave you to think about it. But don't worry, anywhere. I'm taking the drinks with me.
Yeah.
And he goes off. So you go to Barnaby. Barnaby, it seems to be reading a graphic novel.
What's the novel about?
He looks over his shoulder at you, holds it up. It's Sandman's Season of Mists.
Ooh.
And then he turns back to his reading.
I'm just going to. I'm going to sort of nod because I think about it goes, and I'm going to go for the pig.
You're going to go for it.
I'm going to go for it.
Okay. He does seem to be engrossed in his thing.
As he does.
Nevertheless, this is still going to be a contested roll.
Yep.
Is that a happy roll?
That is 6 successes.
Okay.
That's for the 7 dice I had.
He seems to be really into this graphic novel. Like, to the exclusion of everything else. Like, he does not... He really, like... He doesn't seem to want to do anything else but read it. And when the moment he turned away from you, it's like you had vanished, as far as he was concerned. So... What are you going for? There is... He is wearing some jewellery. He has a very big leather coat on, which has lots of pockets. Are you lucky dipping a pocket, or are you trying to take a specific piece of jewellery?
Did it seem to have a watch that seems to have a certain style or thing?
He does seem to have a watch.
Is it of a specific thing?
Well, it's hard to see because he has long sleeves. You can just see the edge of it peeking out, but he does have a watch. How many successes did you get?
That was 6.
Yeah, okay. If you want to lift his watch, I'll let you do it.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So you lift his watch.
Sorry?
And you've lifted a few watches in your time. You think this watch, even at a glance, because obviously you sniff away quickly, you just have the sense that this is a watch of quality. This is a watch that will probably get you extra points. That is your feeling. Like this is not just like something he picked up from a store. This is probably like, this is at least expensive, if not important. You feel like that was a win.
Yep. And then I just slip away.
Okay, you just slip away. And assumedly to meet with Jason, or are you just keeping your distance until things...
I'm going to keep him a distance until things calm down.
So as you're slipping and turning away, you find that Finn is standing right in front of you.
Oh, hello.
He says, hello.
How you doing?
He says, I'm fine. How are you doing?
It's been a long day. I was trying to do a personal web trick with your son, as you asked me to earlier, but
oh right, I did ask for that.
Yes.
Did he like it?
He's unfortunately.
Did he tell you to fuck off?
He didn't get that.
Oh no, that's good. That's good for him. He's doing well. Oh, I'm quite proud. I'm quite moved. That's good. So, nothing else you want to say? Are you sure?
I'm just tired. It's been a long day. I'm glad you enjoyed. You at least enjoyed the tricks.
Oh, I liked your tricks. You sure there's nothing else you want to say?
Ask him what the time is.
No, nothing else. Why?
Okay.
Is there something on your mind?
No, there's nothing on my mind. Okay. That's fine. No, that's good. That's good. You have a nice night.
You too.
A nice night. And then he walks off. Okay, so so you're going? Are you going to meet with Jason, or are you doing something different at this point?
I'm just going to kind of slip out and then probably meet Jason.
You have a sense, because when Finn goes back to sit with Barnaby, you have the sense that he's still keeping half an eye on you.
Yeah.
You feel like he's watching you a bit.
I'm just going to go eat a little more and just check the time. What is the time at this point?
All right, so it's now on the move. It's now on the move towards midnight, and Roger has got a little tipsy on his drink, and is heading off towards bed. Yeah. Denton, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go find Alan.
Yeah,
Wherever he's gone off to.
Alan hasn't gone very far. He, but he is having a drink. He looks a little bit shaken up.
We won't need to worry about that little wench anymore. I put her in her place.
Oh, gosh, Denton, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. It was like being back in the playground. For goodness sake, I don't know. She, I, something was wrong with that woman.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, I'm so glad. Would you like another drink? You've always a champion of the.
I'm just glad you're not worse off for it.
No, I'm.
People like that need to be taught a lesson.
I couldn't agree more, and I'm so glad you're here to do it. Yes.
You've been working hard today, and as you know, I'm eternally grateful. You should head up to bed. I'll get some rest for tomorrow.
Right. Yes, I will. Thank you. I'll take the bags up.
Help him with the bags up?
Okay. So you're going back up to your room?
Yep.
Yeah. Are you going to bed or are you no?
Coming back down afterwards?
Okay. So you get him set. You come back down. Whilst that's going on, Daniel, just give me a very quick. Actually, no. I will cover this for you.
I don't like that expression.
What are you doing whilst obviously? So Finn has gone back over to Barnaby. You're still watching the fireplace. What are you doing?
Trying to send a text.
There's no signal.
I know,
But that's what you're trying to do.
anyway.
That's absolutely fine. So you're focused on that. That's fine. So you're going to meet with Jason.
Yeah, I was next. Looking at the clock. Yeah, time.
Okay. So you meet with Jason. He gives you the thumbs up. He says, "Got two." He says, "Did you?" Yeah. He says, "I don't like that big bloke. He's onto us. We better be bloody careful."
Yeah,
Do you think he's seen me?
He has moved towards you and just double check you got it.
So he reaches
Yeah,
into
because
his pocket.
this will be outside the room, way nice.
So he takes out well, it's like a bit of cloth, like wrapped cloth, which he unfolds, and inside is what looks like a chip of some kind of stone, but it looks like stone that's been manipulated in some way, like almost like. Have you got any academics or intelligence or?
I do have some academics.
Right.
Research would count.
Research, no, but academics, yes.
So intelligence.
Yeah.
None.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Any idea what that is?
He shrugs. This is a bit weird though. Reckon it'll count, don't you?
Maybe it's.
He says, "Got that from that bloke." And then he reaches into his other pocket. Shit. He says, "I got her hanky, right? I don't know. I must have gone." He says, "Hang on, I'll see if it fell out of my pocket." And he starts.
No. Okay. Keep an eye out.
Okay. So you'll see, by the way, that Finn goes to Barnaby and they start making their way upstairs. And then they go. So Jason starts retracing his steps, trying to find if it's like fallen out or something's happened. And he's getting increasingly agitated because he doesn't really slip up very often. He's getting quite freaked out by that. So it's around this point, you're kind of between the library and the bar. You two are still in the bar. Roger comes downstairs. And he comes over to you and he says, "Oh, Daniel, I'm so sorry to bother you. I don't suppose you've seen Daryl come this way, have you? Sometimes he likes to go get a little bit of night air if he can't sleep."
No one's coming this. Well, he hasn't. He went upstairs, didn't he?
Oh, yes, he went up a little while ago, but he doesn't sleep through. Sometimes he wakes up and has likes to have a little stroll, as he calls it.
Do you need a hand looking for him?
If you don't mind.
Put my phone away and get up.
So you start having a little look around.
I'll leave my jacket there.
Okay.
Go and look for him.
So you have a little tour around the grounds and things. You don't find Daryl. He says, maybe we've missed him and he's gone up to his room. I'll go and check on him again.
Okay. Can't find him. I'll be back in there.
Right, thank you. He says, right, and he goes off. So, what are you doing, Percy?
I'm gonna kind of head up to the room with the with the 2 bits and see if Jason comes back with them. To see if Jason comes back with it.
He doesn't come back with it. And he's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. I had it and then I didn't have it. He looks at you. He says, Percy, if you're fucking with me. He says, did you? Have you bloody got it, haven't you? You bloody got it.
I wish I was a good. Come on, you did from the best, but I think
He's looking at you like he's convinced it must be you. Surely it's you that's done it.
check me. Go on, check me.
He does. He checks you. Of
No,
course he does.
no, I know. Not
He-
there.
And
No.
he doesn't find it.
Yep. I know there's a good place to do this, but no, thank you. Yes. Okay.
Can you make an intelligence? You might have already thought of this, but give me an intelligence, straight intelligence roll.
He's mugged you too.
3. No, sorry, 2. Right. Yeah. Damn it.
It occurs to you that in her challenge, Finn was optional, but Isabel wasn't.
I know.
Okay.
I'm going to have a quick change of clothes, and then I'm going to head down myself to the library.
Okay. So you're going to the library. The library is empty, and the candle in the lantern is nearly gone out. The wick is nearly gone, but there's a little bit of flickering light, but not much.
Any evidence of where he's gone?
You don't offhand. I mean, there are ways to find out potentially, but she's not in the library.
No, I'll just have a look around.
Okay, so the only people still in the bar area are Daniel and Denton, and obviously Jason. Everyone else has gone to bed, and it seems very quiet.
I can't look around sort of in between rooms and look around see if I can find her, or see if there's any trace of where
So you're looking for Isabel. So you're just checking the rooms to see if you can find out which room is hers.
Quietly just.
Yeah, sure. Give me a Dex and Stealth. Actually, what's your pool?
My pool for that is 5.
Fine. So you can creep through the rooms, or creep by the rooms and listen, and you can. The thing that you find quite rapidly is the rooms seem very quiet. Like, you listen at each door because you're listening for sounds of, like, distinctive, say, snoring or shuffling or chatter. And you go through the rooms, like, obviously listening at the door one by one, unless you're opening any. Obviously, let me know.
No.
The thing that strikes you most is there is one room where you can hear a bit of noise. You can hear what sounds like, and you have to strain quite hard to hear it, but you can hear what sounds like the scratch of, like, a pen on paper or something, and maybe you can hear and separately, like, there's more than one person in the room, occasionally the sound of a page turning. There are 6 rooms that are kind of guest rooms. All of the other rooms, because you check them one by one, you can't hear anything on the other side.
I'll go at the door.
Which door?
The one that I was hearing.
The one that you heard the noise?
Yeah.
Okay. So you hear from the other side, no, you get it.
Slip away.
So you're just leaving. Okay, you will hear the door, but you've cleared by the time it opens. Okay.
And then sort of just slip round to another room. And then,
You knocked another room?
Yep.
No answer.
I accept the next one.
Okay. Knock.
Yep.
No answer.
Did you learn in the school of gym or something?
Are you knocking again? Are you going to another room? What are you doing?
I'm gonna have a search sort of around the building at this point.
So you're going to start. So you'll leave the guest rooms and start just looking about. It's very quiet. Obviously, you'll go when you go by the bar. These people are still in the bar, but that's about it. What are your two's plans, by the way? Are you
Waiting for 2 a.m.
So you're waiting for 2 a.m. and you.
I haven't left the bar.
So you're just intending to stay in the bar until hell freezes over, or are you?
I have no intention of going to a room.
Okay, so you're just staying in the bar. Okay.
Away from the bar, but
In the bar, yeah, in the bar area.
in the vicinity of the liquor.
Understood. But you're not having any liquor.
No,
because
no, no,
You're
no,
feeling
no.
strong tonight.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that. So you have a little look around, and you kind of a little walk around the grounds.
Yeah.
Seems very quiet. Everyone seems to have gone to bed. There's no sign of anyone.
This one plays our ideas going crap.
I mean, it might be that she was in one of the rooms and she didn't reply. She did seem like the kind of person that wouldn't necessarily answer a random knock on her door early in the morning. And it didn't seem like her way of doing things.
Spam it.
So you could try knocking again. You could try going in. You could try something else.
I'll try for a knock and
Give me one more intelligence roll, and I'll see if I'll give you a hint as a possible thing.
1.
So it occurs to you that if she's staying here, there might be a record of it in reception, and you might be able to isolate which room she's in.
I'll go to that then.
Okay, well, reception is empty at the moment.
Yep.
Assuming you're having a rifle around. It doesn't take you long to find the book,
Yep.
and yeah, you will find out which room she's in. Sorry, it's a ghoul malfunction, don't worry about it.
No, they're okay, we think.
Okay, yeah, you find out which room she's in.
And then I'll slip on to her room.
Okay, you go to her room. You've already knocked in it once, it's very quiet. There's no answer.
Is it Bell?
Okay, it's locked. That's not necessarily going to stop you, but it is locked. Are you going to break in?
I'll pull out little things and then try and pick it.
Okay. I think your call is good enough. It's just a hotel door. It's not a super lock. You pick. It's actually quite an old lock.
Yeah.
You pick it. There's a click, and you step inside the room. I'll come back to you. So you two are basically holding that pattern until 2 a.m. And assumably at 2 a.m. you are going to go to that room.
I'm going to go to room 5.
You go to room 5, and you are going to stay in the bar area. Okay. So, can you all three of you make for me a stamina and athletics roll, please? It's like, boo.
Oh, holy fuck.
4.
Okay.
Hey, let's burn a willpower.
2.
2, okay. Okay, so 240. Okay, Percy, I'm going to start with you.
Yep.
You wake up. It's dark. You're laying on your back. You can't see anything. It's pitch black. But you think you're indoors. It feels like an indoor floor beneath you. Your head feels a bit sore, like maybe you've had some kind of blow to the head or something. Your neck feels stiff, and your body feels a bit odd. It feels like you've been yanked about in some way. You know, like some of your muscles protest a little bit. What are you doing?
I'm going to sort of check myself for any sort of injuries.
Okay.
And slowly get up and try and figure where the fuck am I?
Okay, are you standing up or are you sitting up?
I'm just slowly sitting up.
You slowly sit up. It's very quiet in this room, but you can faintly hear, you think there are some other people in here. You can hear their breathing. But it sounds like, almost like sleeping, like there's maybe a few people asleep in here.
Check pocket of the phone, pull out, use a light of that to have a little look around.
Okay, so obviously it's not very good light, but what it will mainly illuminate is there are bodies in this room. There are people laying down. You're not the only person that's been laying in this room. When you shine the light of your phone around, you can see some bodies. You will identify fairly rapidly that one of the people next to you seems to be Jason. And he is also, looks like he's groggy, but he's kind of like a bit like you. That he's alive though. But he's not the only body here. There are more.
And just keep looking around at the moment.
Okay, so you can hear his breathing changing, like he's starting to wake up. You check around. Are you just trying to check the whole room?
Yeah, just slowly check the whole room.
Okay. What are you doing first? Are you looking at bodies? Are you looking at the room? What's your intention here?
Room first, bodies second.
Nice, ruthless. Okay. So you make your way towards trying to find a wall.
Yeah.
It's very cold in this room. You notice. You have to step over a few bodies.
Yeah, as I'm checking it, as I'm stepping over it, that's kind of where I'm looking.
You come across Denton.
Not me. Sorry.
She doesn't look like Jason looked. Something looks a bit odd about her. She's not breathing. She's dead. Sorry, he's dead. He's dead. He is totally dead.
Continue looking around, see if...
Your heartbeat is starting to kind of go a bit like, what? You do find a door.
Yeah, so found the door, and then start going around checking other bodies.
Okay.
See who else I find.
So you check the door, it's locked.
And just start going around for checking.
Okay.
Who else?
You hear Jason kind of going, "Oh, my head."
Yeah, mine too, buddy.
Daniel, you wake up.
How do I feel?
You feel heavy and odd. You can hear the sounds of other people waking up around you, and general kind of sounds of unhappiness. It's an odd thing, you know. So Jason has got up and is trying to make his way to you because you're the only one with a light active, but other people are starting to wake up. Most people don't necessarily have like things handy in their pockets, but you will see another light, another torch kind of pop into existence. So can you both make an awareness and wits roll for me?
Two.
Okay.
3, sorry. No, 2. I was right. 2.
Okay.
Wrong side of the die.
So what are you doing, by the way, Daniel? Now that you've sat up, you can see the light of Percy's phone.
I get whacked on the head.
No, you don't feel like you got whacked on the head, but you feel a bit odd. You feel like something's happened to you. Just where's your initial intention? Where are you going, or what are you doing? Or are you just sitting?
What's immediately around me?
So you look immediately around you, and what is immediately around you are a couple of other people. And the thing that you can hear, because you can hear their breathing, but you can also hear, and that heaviness in your limbs seems to lift slightly, and you can feel a change kind of in your teeth, like something is pushing its way through the gum. And what you can hear more than anything else is the sound of blood, like a river running through veins, like alcohol when it's been at its most demonic and tempting. Those times where you've given in and had it, and no matter how much you've felt bad afterwards, it's felt good to have it at the time. And there is some part of you, it's weird, it's like your brain's got some crossed wires. It's thinking whiskey, but it's looking at the person next to you and the blood in their veins. The thing you hear is Denton sitting up behind you.
What the?
And the thing you don't hear is his heartbeat. Denton, there's some food in front of you and you are fucking hungry.
I'm going to take a bite.
Who? Me?
And you rush forward. And you can make a willpower roll if you want to. Or you're rushing forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that roll.
Okay.
1.
And you rush forward. Denton moves faster than you expect. You see a moment as you're struggling with him where your phone spins in the air and then down and then out. And that is where we're going to win the session.
So it appears I've become meal for 2 vampires, amongst other people. Oh well. Although if there's 2 people, I'm happy to be eaten by these 2, certainly.
So, thank you all very, very much for watching Blood on the Tamases. Thank you to my lovely players.
Thank you for running it.
And again
Likewise.
to Alicia for the incredible logo. And of course, next week we will be back as normal with Blood on the Thames. So we will hopefully see you there.
Thank you, Peter.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. See you next week.
Thanks for watching this episode of Blood on the Thames. If you'd like to keep up with all the latest news, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and ShrekNet, the links to which are down below. And remember, if you want to join us live, be sure to tune in every Monday at 7 p.m. on Twitch. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.